You can keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my arm.
Tuan dan Puan. Salamat petang, Malaysia.
And greetings to everyone all around the world.
I'm Mara Aquino.
And I'm LaFell.
And welcome to the M5 World Championship Wildcard Stage. After 3 days of duking it out here in the group stage, the 8 teams all across the regions we're finally down to the last 4.
And today, there will be 2 best-of-5 series to complete the wildcard stage, where we will have a complete 16 teams going to the Philippines.
That's right. We have the Mongolian powerhouse Team Little Gun going up against the Laotian Grim Reapers, Nightmare Esports. But before that, we have the Malaysian hometown heroes, Team SMG, going up against the Shapers of Meta from Peru, Imperio Esports.
As we approach the final day of the first ever wildcard event in the history of the M Series, let me just ask you, Mara. We made a lot of memories, but what sticks out to you?
If I'm not gonna be biased, you stick out to me. I don't know if you guys watched LaFell yesterday, but you're pretty funny. You're one for the books. You're one for the books. You have to be. We have to watch you. But if we're gonna be talking about the teams, I guess the emerging teams from all across the regions. Specifically, I would have to say Imperio and Umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've been bringing out the Gushin, the Yishun Shing. So
we see a lot of Leomore. There's a lot of heroes.
Yes, and Yuzong, things that heroes that are meta in their region that's surprising us.
Yeah, I would say in the Southeast Asia meta, we haven't seen those heroes for a while, and the fact that they win with it. I mean, choosing is one thing, winning is another.
What about you? What's the most memorable for you, LaFell?
Oh, personally for me, this wildcard stage has been a lot of firsts for me. It's the first time I got to work with Naisu on stage, so that's number 1. And it's the first time we see the wildcard in Malaysia, where we are the ones starting the trend. And thank you to everyone here for showing your support. Without you guys, we're nothing. Thank you very much.
And I hope it's been memorable for you guys as well. And we're gonna make more memories for today as we head onto the final day, the crossover match. Now, everyone here at Geospace are all hyped up.
Let me test the energy. Are you
We're gonna make more
guys ready?
More Geospace.
Let me all right, they look pumped.
They're pumped. The casters are set, and the players are more than ready to be
better than great.
The road to the M5 World Championship is about to take a sweet turn. Teams. Greetings to everyone. I'm Gideon, joined by Naisu, as well as as we see it to qualify. And it all begins here today in this best of 5 series, Team SMG versus Imperial. Let us begin to draft. There it is.
that's already the YSS ban, by the way. So the respect is there. I feel like, again, Imperial has garnered the respect, you know, not just from Team SMG, but from multiple teams now paying attention to this. And it's good because they do the exact same thing, right? This is someone that we talked about quite extensively, Smooth with that R-Lot. Now, what is left open, too, was the performance of Stormy with the Valentina and the Lilia. Those are probably priority picks that could pop up. But the Bruno, a mainstay so far for first pick.
Yep. I mean, yours going to be a little upset. It's like, okay, fine. They took away the usage and they took away the Bruno. What else do you want to take away from us? We're going to immediately lock in that Farmers. We've seen how devastating that mid lane duo with the help of Stefe really kind of maneuvers around if they are trying to protect the king.
And with the Farmers picked up right here, usually we see them really willing to go for a double support, but they're going to go for Terizla early on here, trying to secure a power pick for Marquinhos to try and really make plays around the map.
Oh, he's going to do a roll
They're still
live.
doing it.
He's doing a 10. He did it.
What?
He just got it.
Just one of the day. Let's go.
Hey, yo, this isn't even like, I'm pretty sure.
Even the players.
I can't. He didn't even have pity. He didn't even have pity and he just nails it. Well done.
Even the players want to know what's going on.
That was insane.
That's so nuts.
That came out of nowhere.
Hey, what a way to start the day. By the way, if that, you know, because that's on Team SMG side, you guys talked about a birthday buff, right?
Oh.
I think he got the birthday buff.
Look, I'm not gonna push it forward. I'm not gonna push that agenda. I feel like the caster curse in me is starting to grow, and if it goes over the top, it might just be over for Team SMG. Now, following up on the picks, we are seeing the Joy as well as the Linya from the side of Team SMG to close out phase 1, and from Imperial, we are seeing the Clint. Now, rather interesting here to go for the Clint in this particular situation.
Well, yours well known to play the 1-1, but since it's banned away, there's not really a lot of marksmen that can really match the aggression and also the late game potential, like the Bruno. The Clint is one of them, and with the root, the immobilize that he has, it is still pretty safe, and that's why they're also banning the Joy, knowing that the Clint is also a ripe target to be pushed out of the Netherrealm with that Way of the Dragon.
We see the next 3 bans come out. It's the Cho as well as Boxia from the side of Imperial. Coach Pao, he's thinking about it. I mean, Guinevere's already gone. I was expecting the Guinevere to be picked up relatively early this time, but, well, at least pushed on towards the second phase.
Oh, there's a statement right there, too. And I feel like, yeah, this is where Aurora kind of has to adapt, right? He's probably not going to get his hands on the YSS, so we'll see when he actually decides to park in the jungle. And not only that, but, hey, it's hammer time.
Terizla currently the most picked hero at the M5 wildcards, having been picked 20 times with a 55% win rate overall.
Well, it doesn't seem too high, 55%, but considering the amount of picks, it's definitely significant. But back to the topic of Aurora, though, are we going to see something like the Roger? Because again, with the Farmers, they want to go aggressive, they want to have that early game, they go for the Kufra pick. Relatively less seen in the Wildcard series so far, but when it's picked up, we saw Stefe just completely demolish on it just yesterday. Let's see, man, is it going to be available to be done against SMG with so much crowd control and possibly a lot of purifiers as well?
It's pretty scary to think about this, but I feel that when we're seeing Kufra coming in from Stefe and considering the style of Imperial, this is all for Aurora. He wants something that can dash, and a couple of things are coming to mind. I'm thinking about Ling, I'm thinking about Lancelot, or even Hayabusa maybe.
I would love to see it. You know, if he does still kind of go that route again. We saw the head-to-head. I want to see what he is able to throw here at Team SMG. But that is also a Grok being picked up, plus the X-Borg. Great pick into the Terizla.
There it is. Called it. Called it.
Nice.
100% win rate, only one game, but against so much tankiness, against a Grok, they can also nullify a lot of the crowd control. We'll see if he can snowball as efficiently, because that is something that you definitely need to be looking for when you're playing this Roger.
Exactly, right? It's that first kill that makes such a big difference for Roger as he snowballs into the later stages of the game. But keep in mind, Team SMG's overall comp is pretty squishy. I mean, you have escape mechanisms, but at the same time, if you're below 50%, even 40%, you're in danger.
Not only that, but you know, the biggest thing for Imperio is to time the Netherrealm correctly because of the pacing of this game, but also to work around this X-Borg. We have seen X-Borg be in the hands of Smooth before, and even though it might not be a high impact game in terms of kills, he does the positioning perfectly.
Well, it is time to head into the land of Dawn for the M5 World Championship wildcard stage. On the blue side, we have Team SMG up against Imperial Esports on the red side for our first game in this best of 5 series. Arashi, break down these compositions. What are we looking for here?
I think for the side of Imperial, it's pretty obvious, right? Go in aggressively, have that nether roam to play around with, and for SMG, I think it's stall out the laning phase, and then afterwards, in the neutral team fight, abuse that Lilia damage, and maybe use that control to really stifle the rotations coming in from Imperial.
Now let's see how much, as Marquino's taking a little bit of damage. He should be okay here, right? He's not gonna give first blood just like that.
Yep, should be fine as he is. But again, that Body of Smith, that passive will help him as long as he needs it, right, through the majority of the game. But you just don't want to take too much damage early on, because we know that's what they're looking for. Team SMG wants to get the snowball, the momentum going early on.
I think at the battle spells, no Purify on Fashion on the Faramis. It's a risky option, but considering only a wild charge is cause for concern, maybe it's okay, but Marquinhos.
So dangerous.
Whoa!
That's going to be a pretty easy kill for Saksa. First blood, Team SMG.
Yep, and that's also going to be a lot of gold shielding going over to Smooth. Like, Smooth likes winning out his lane. He's considered one of some of the best laners specifically here in Malaysia. So now that you have that counter matchup, he just wants to press that advantage as much as he can.
We've seen Imperial kind of lose momentum when the EXP gets pressured. It's going to be Saksa trying to go and shut Marquinhos down even further. Looking at the battle spells though, and the emblems in particular, the agility and the wilderness blessing in the mid lane, that's how you know they're planning on just roaming, not exactly going for a 1v1. But maybe that expectation is what Imperial can use to really trap Stormy in a bad situation.
I personally feel that in these types of situations, I feel like Team SMG could potentially make the call to, you know what, let's just give up this neutral objective, right? Let's just give up this turtle. We don't necessarily need to be here, and our laners are doing phenomenally.
I think they're going to fight it anyways, you know, at least they're going to go ahead and park Smooth there. Of course, the gold laner is going to go ahead and hash it out in the bottom lane, but once again, Aurora, he kind of needs these buffs, and this is his play style, so we'll see if they actually commit to it.
Looks like the rest of Imperial are...
The wild charge is going to come through, but it's going to keep him back. Penalty zone to jump in. It's still working for a revenge strike as well. Here comes Aurora looking for the kill. Saksa will get the turtle. Now they're going to have to win the fight. Aurora taking too much damage. It's Smooth. Gets the kill, and he's looking for Steppe. Can he get it? Double for Smooth.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. The impure rage for the earlier stages of the game, dominating his lane, and now with the lead, he's really, you feel his influence on the top side of the map.
It's exactly what Team SMG were planning, man. All that AoE really paid off. I mean, Nico's wild charge instantly looked a bit weird, a bit too rushed, but afterwards the follow-up was just on point, and Imperial, they like the damage to really contest in these big fights. They gotta go for skirmishes, man. 2-for-2s, 3-for-3s, something like that, in order for Saksa and Smooth to not really just dominate because of the AoE.
Now, one thing that a lot of people don't talk about are the side POIs. Well, Steppe, he's not going to die, right? The side POIs, things like the river crab, for an example, is actually pretty important for a laner like Export. Once that Firaga armor is broken and you can't walk back up to lane, an easy way to kind of find these charges is that river crab. Steppe's fine. He's good, right? He's great. Oh, wait.
But look, they're still going to be putting the pressure here now on yours. Steppe going to jump in. Good play. They get Stormy. There's the Nether Realm to help him out. They're going to keep Team SMG at bay.
Look at that, man. Aurora late to the party. Team SMG, they're just trying to make sure that they are the ones in control right here, making sure Imperial are always guessing, because Miko is just always around the corner.
Yeah, he's just going to take a couple shots. Aurora wants to commit to it, though. Going to use that retribution, but does not want to go under the turret with Sasa there.
Whew. Especially if he's going to take his time, but I mean, Smooth, once again, being really, really annoying. Marquinhos doesn't stand a chance against Smooth as of right now, but notice that at least Smooth is communicating to the rest of the team. The information that he provides allows Saksa to get a free orange buff, and they're still proxying the lane. Like, Marquinhos is going to be losing a decent amount of EXP if he can't get past Smooth.
Well, he finally gets past right here, but Marquinhos, well, if he's not really on curve, if he's really behind on the gold, he's one of the main front lines for Team Imperial. They need to make sure that Steppe is hidden in order to actually get those big engages. If Marquinhos is too squishy, it means that Imperial will not be able to really contest ground in the first place.
Guess it's just Imperial that wants to go ahead and give this up. Marquinhos had the information, but Smooth there on the front of the side, going to keep Imperial in that mid lane. So right now, it just seems like Imperial wants to just go ahead and give these up for now and try to get back from letting the gold lead get too far out of hand.
And honestly, everything is working out for the side of Team SMG. Despite it being 3-3, this 1.7k lead, and more importantly, where is this gold coming from? It's from the side laners, the gold and the EXP. We're talking about Smooth a lot, but Sasa is actually just bullying out Yor.
And of course, it's also from Sasa just farming really, really fast. I mean, the Joy is a great hero for farming as well as going for those ganks and kills. So for Imperia now, they have to try and find a way to really keep up in farm, but also to try and fight from the sides. If they go for a front to back, that Lilia and Bruno damage is going to be too much to deal with. If they come from the sides, even Smooth's damage on the X-Borg can be mitigated to a certain degree.
They possibly can, but notice the movements coming out from Imperial, right? Again, Aurora's making some decisive decisions. Whoa!
Whoa! Okay, penalty zone. Oh! Goes in as well, gets a huge rage off, and now Smooth gonna have to flicker out. The rest of Team SMG to help him out, but they accomplish what they want. Miko goes in with a wild charge of his own. Aurora quite low, still gonna be working on it. He'll be fine though, but right now Imperial has an answer.
Man, I know we joke about Matilda Airlines, but have we talked about Kufra Airlines, the premium starship that we saw? This man went flying!
The fastest service in the air right now, man. They came out of nowhere. We thought Marquinhos was miscoordinated, but Steffe just steps in and steps up to the plate. Of course, now Team SMG with a tower taken in the mid lane, they're gonna try and get into Aurora's jungle even more. But it seems like with that play, they're a bit deterred here, knowing that Imperial can still strike back with a 1 to 2k gold deficit.
Yeah, I think people need to recognize that for Steffe, that's not exactly easy. You're going at max range, but you also have to flicker at the right position to make sure that your end spot is past 50% of the wall to make sure that you're on the opposite end. Aurora, he might be in a little bit of trouble as the rest of Team SMG start to collapse on this turtle.
Yeah, if they even want to contest this, he needs that nether realm, but he's going to be zoned out completely. Saxa will go ahead and get the turtle again. Now he's going to be focusing down Feshin. Has to get the nether realm out himself. They're going to be stuck under the turret. There's the last insanity. Steffe has nowhere to go as he's whittled down. Feshin going to be the next one. Marquinhos, can he get there in time? He's too late. Now he's going to be the focus, and Aurora trying to help him out, but one after one will go down for Imperio. Is Aurora next? He has to give up the turret.
This is starting to look disgusting from Team SMG. A lot of chaos on the bottom side, and now maybe even another kill.
Oh. They're still going to go. They weren't done. Team SMG wanted more.
Way too much, man. Imperial, they are forced to really funnel one by one right there. They thought they could turn it around. It's worked for them before, but against Team SMG, it's a bit too much to ask for.
The laners are doing a phenomenal job. Chaos on the bottom side, turrets all across the board, a solo kill coming out from Sasa on that top side against Yor. This is really not looking good for Imperial. If you're in Imperial's position, Arashi, how do you deal with this based on the items and the state of the game?
Well, the main thing is they have to try and let go of some of these fights that they really are late to the party for, right? If you want to try and match Team SMG, that's fine. But if you arrive late and you funnel one by one like that, it's only going to serve to put you even further behind. Right now, it's a 700 gold deficit for Yor, but it's not fatal, right? He can still come back from this, and so can Aurora to a degree, but in the jungle, that's just a bit more difficult, especially with all the aggressive maneuvers that Team SMG are doing.
I think this is actually a set game plan from the side of Team SMG, right? They are really slowing down Aurora. I mean, they're even delaying the buff. It's not necessarily we have to steal your buff, we just have to delay, reset it time and time again with Smooth and Miko.
You talked about this before the draft, their play style, right, from Team SMG. They're probably going to choke out at least one lane, and that's kind of what they did. They hyper-focused on Aurora, but again, this all kind of happened with those early kills for Smooth as well, which was already a great pick into the Terizla, so it forces Imperial to kind of just constantly be trying to catch up here.
It's one of those situations where, you know, real life reflects these video games. In MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to choke somebody out compared to Muay Thai, looking for that big knockout.
It's a different style for sure. And now look at Team SMG. They're going for the Lord, but they're also trying to bait Imperio into a fight, seeing if they're going to get impatient. And if they can find Yor maybe in this fight, that'll be great, man. At half HP now, then they're going to commit.
I don't think they can. They just have to give up the Lord here. Team SMG furthering the lead. Now they've got the Lord. We'll see if Imperial can defend against the push.
Dude, Saksa is 3 levels ahead of Aurora right now. Like, these neutrals are impossible to take, even if you get a 50-50.
They're going to find Smooth here. Armor's going to be gone, but it's cut off with the Guardian's barrier there. So Imperial has no option but to go back to base and get ready.
It's a big problem with that composition, man. You thought that he's gonna get picked off, but with the Firaga armor, he essentially has a second lease at life. And just to take out the armor, Imperial has to commit so many things and you're stuck.
Oh, okay. Little misplay there. Stefan gonna go in with rage. They're gonna be able to find Stormy. Now can they win another one? Sasa gonna be in trouble. They chase him down and they find him. Miko the next target. They're still going for it. Smooth here to keep him at bay, but he could be in trouble as well. Saksa's gonna jump in. They're whittled down. Smooth has the immortality, but Imperial has to deal with their base.
So remember when we were talking earlier about, wow, Stormy not taking the Purifier earlier. That's really, really bold of him. It pays off at least for Imperial Esports this time around. And I think we need to take a small breather here, right? The Lord is starting to walk up, but a majority of the members from the side of Team SMG are looking to back off. They're waiting for that second wave. I don't know if they're going to get an inhibitor turret off of this, but so far, I feel like Stefe is holding Imperial together right now.
I mean, he has the highest kills in the game. As a roamer, not ideal, but better than nothing, right? He's holding it in, he's making sure that he is on curve as well. If you have a tanky Kufra, it's also more risk for Team SMG to consider if they're trying to make all these bold, aggressive plays. With that warning though, with that moment, Imperial Esports are able to take down 2 members, but now Team SMG will be a lot more careful when they're walking around those danger zones.
We got 72 more seconds until the next Lord actually spawns. Team SMG with their slow playstyle, right? This is starting to get into, well, not dangerous territory, but on the cusp of it.
Yeah, again, even with the way, the past 10 minutes of this game have gone, Imperial is keeping it together, and I think, like you guys mentioned, Stefe's doing a great job, but he's been a key component to Imperial's success this whole wild card, right? Aurora's usually the one getting these MVPs, is shining, but Stefe is there all the time for him, and as we take a look at the replay here, you can see this kind of unfold, and it worked out well for them, right, for the most part, and I feel like Team SMG was kind of surprised here.
And even their decision there, they saw the Bruno and they're like, okay, that's a value target. So they expended several battle spells, they committed a lot because they know that's the prior target right there. If it turns out that Saksa was in the area, I think they're very happy and willing to take that fight, particularly because the main big damage that really burst them out of that nether realm is the damage coming in from Stormy on the Lilia. So he is definitely someone that's going to be hunted down in the middle of this fight.
I think if Team SMG wants to close out this game against Imperial before it gets really dangerous, this upcoming Lord is going to be very, very important. Because look at how quick that even though Aurora was getting slowed down, he's catching up, right? From 3 levels, now it's 2 levels, and eventually it's not going to matter anymore. And then it's about gold investment. I don't think he has enough of a hedge fund just yet, but I think that Team SMG are hoping that Imperial make that first move, whiff, and then get punished.
Usually the breaking point is at 15 minutes, more or less, and we are getting very, very close. But if you look at the wave management, you saw Team SMG send 1 member to the top side, but they don't push it in immediately. They want to make sure it builds up, and they're trying to use this macro play to really pull Imperial Esports apart. If one of them is forced to go up to the top side, it's going to be quite the easy Lord.
Oh, Miko, half health already. He's going to have to back off, but he's still going to be holding on to the wild charge. So Imperial having a bit of a hard time to get near this Lord as it's taken. Smooth already going to use the last insanity. He's going to find Marquino. And now Imperial on the run. Miko goes in with his own combination. Takes a couple shots, but they're still going to be chasing him down. Imperial has to get to their base, licking their wounds. They've lost Marquino.
Oh, they need to find something to reset here. If Fashion can cancel some recalls, maybe that could be good. But right now, Saksa, very healthy, Smooth, almost about to get his Firaga armor back. And of course, Sasa, not even worried at all. He's got Hotspot. He can top up off of anything.
I don't know, wave to available for Imperial Esports right here, but they do have Marquinhos with the penalty zone up soon, so they can attempt a fight if they really want to, or they can just let SMG just suffocate them even further into this game. That team fight was just so difficult for Imperial to deal with, particularly because there's not a lot of mobility in the hands of Marquinhos, man. When he gets slowed down like that, it's so difficult. You might have to try and find some items to really deal with the slow over the damage.
Yep, we're getting to that break point of 15 minutes, you know? That's what you were talking about earlier. I feel the arm slipping under for the rear naked chokehold at this point, but still, I was hoping that Team SMG would just be a little more aggressive. I think they were hoping for more there.
Yeah, still. Actually, here could be looking for more, but this is what they do. They play around Migo, they play around Smooth. Steffi gonna get trapped, takes a ton of damage, is taken care of quickly, still gonna be working for it. They have the Nether Realm there to help him out. Steffi barely surviving, gonna use that concealer as well. Imperial still pressured on the defense.
God, I love a good Grok player, man. Being able to alter terrain is such a powerful tool.
And Migo's barriers have been absolutely on point. I think there's been 6 or 7 moments in this game alone where the barrier has isolated one of the members of Imperial. And the only reason why they haven't been punished is because for the most part, every single one of them have dashes, except for Marquinhos. That's why it's so difficult for him right now to really move up and try and find some intelligence.
And even if Marquinhos isn't the priority target, Steffi becomes the second, because as soon as he doesn't have his leap, then he's in a lot of trouble. He's forced to use abilities, and he's forced, and maybe they can even get some good ultimates, like for an example, in the Nether Realm from Feshin.
Yeah, that's, again, the timing on that is crucial. And as we get further in the game, you know, we're already past that 15-minute mark you guys mentioned earlier. It's going to get more dangerous, right? Especially with Ur here. So if they can stall it out, still going to be going for it, though. Once again, the Guardian Barrier on point. Steffi this time can't be saved. Now Imperial once again down a member.
But I tell you, it's just one after the other. A result of one thing leads to consequences from another.
Steffi just uses the Tyrant's revenge into in an aggressive way, so he can't really jump over the barrier. Once again, it's Miko. Even though he wasn't the main initiator technically, he was the one who made that play happen initially. By just being annoying on this Grok, man, he's able to just walk around, be immune from crowd control, and that's also really limiting Fashin's playmaking. You can't really pull back Miko.
I mean, as much as we talk about like game plans that you set before, you know exactly what comp you want to play, you know what you're expecting from your opponents. The individual performances here from the side of Team SMG have been extraordinary, making this game, you know, move along a lot faster compared to what we usually see.
Yeah, not only that, but just the way things are falling into place, the layering, I should say, of Team SMG and their ultimates and everything else is what is doing the damage to Imperial, right? Other than the fact that, yeah, at this point, you know, Sasa, he's stacked in the items, right? He's exactly, it just takes a couple shots and most likely Imperial is going to be down a member. So how do you play around that? This is the time where they have to be able to utilize these 17 minutes that they've garnered themselves and actually have a good defense against this Lord push.
Well, Arashi, quick thoughts on this. Can Imperial find this flank angle to get on top of Sasa?
I think flanking is exactly what they need, but look at his pick!
Wow, they're going to be able to find Stormy so quickly. Now they have to deal with the Lord. Still keeping it together. Smooth Immortality going to go down. Yur's going to flicker in, chasing down. Sasa on the run. They leave him there. They worked for it, but Smooth still alive. Imperial stays in the game, though.
Team SMG getting rocked by Imperial Esports. It's unusual to see Stormy get picked off in this particular manner.
That's when it's the most dangerous, man. You know Imperial has nothing to lose, and they really need to try and find something before the Lord happens. The fact that Stormy was not with his team, I think was a bit of an oversight. And now they're going to push immediately to try and find some more resources, equalize a bit more. We're approaching the 20-minute mark where usually the goal difference starts becoming irrelevant. Now it's all down to execution, and Team SMG, they've been neat so far, but can they keep it up until the end of the game? Because Imperial are gaining momentum.
I don't know. It might actually just backfire here, considering the 4 items already completed, and now for the final item coming in from Aurora, especially with the new changes towards Roger's side, I don't think that Miko can walk up as comfortably, especially if he is healthy.
Looking at the items here, for Ur, he has the great Dragon Spear, by the way. So all these slows coming in from Team SMG, he can kind of deal with it by being speedy. The only real hard crowd control is going to be the hands of Miko, and usually Imperial will force him to use it on other members before Ur is even in the fray.
I mean, Okay, I'm thinking of like layers upon layers upon layers here, right? I'm going deep in the conspiracy at this point, right? I'm on Reddit, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and I think that at this point of time, the front to front from Team SMG seems better, but I think that Imperial so far, if Stefe is able to get the person who is able to peel them off the most, in this case, it's not Smooth, Faraga armor, really annoying, but continuously attack Stormy and priority target being Sasa, if he walks up too far forward, might just be the answer here.
And if they fight in a clumped up formation, it's also going to be very difficult because for the most part, Yura is hitting everyone at the same time. The same can't be said for Sasa. So if Sasa's walking up trying to do damage, say for Stormy, they can get hit by collateral damage from that passive, and that could be what Imperial Esports need.
Again, this is what they could need here if they can actually contest this Lord. Despite the deficit going on, they're on this side of the jungle. Stephanie going to take quite a bit of damage though. Wild charge going to be used. Can he get punished? Imperial keeps it together, but Marquino going to be in trouble with the last Insanity. Smooth comes out swinging again, and that's another Lord in the hands of Team SMG.
Oh, the timing, the timing. Had they just finished that Lord just slightly quicker, they could have abused the fact that Marquino's death timer is getting really, really long at the 20th minute of the game, just missing it by 2 seconds.
Marquinhos though, man, it's such a tough game for him to be in. He's just, in the fight, he can't really do much. In the 1v1, he can't really do much. He's forced to just stick with the team, and even when the team tries to back away, he just gets left behind as the rear guard. For Team SMG, that's the ideal circumstances, but look at this, hang on.
Okay.
No way.
Oh, Stefe gonna jump in, Sasa. Oh, it's gonna be saved by Stormy. He goes in. Still gonna be just fine now. It's Stefe on the run. Aurora's in trouble too. And look at the base. They're gonna put the focus on there. Your falls fashion, trying to keep it together. Immortality from Sox is gonna go down, but the Lord is now there. Marquino gets back in time. There's chaos everywhere, and Stefe finally falls towards Team SMG's side, but they can't clear it just yet. A couple hits away for the base. They're trying to keep it together. Smooth goes in, and Team SMG will take game 1.
I mean, that's why we nominated him for the MDMY's Legends here in MY. Didn't even break a sweat, leaning back on his chair, and after the fight was over and looking for that end game, that's when he leaned forward and was like, okay, now it's time to play. Cancels the Kufra's ult, times the Purify perfectly so he doesn't get that initial hit. Disgusting.
What a play, man. SMG showing that in the even...
I think it's time. Let's get into the drafting phase here for game
dominant picked in the later stages because teams are finding more and more ways to counter it since it was so dominant just a few patches ago.
Well, I think it's time. Let's get into the drafting phase here for game number 2 in this best of 5 series between Team SMG versus Imperial. Let's see which side they're going to be on.
What's funny is, as someone who is from the MPL Philippine region, and I heard what you said about it over there, Gideon, yesterday. Right, we're known for our Lord dances. It might not be super action-packed, but you know, there's a certain sense of finesse in a Lord dance, an extended one. I feel like Wildcard, we haven't seen that many Lord dances. It's been rather wild, right? Do you and that's why I'm saying I think now that we know what sides they're going to be on, Imperial, let's see if they can build around that, because I feel like they're going to be forced in that situation with Team SMG here.
Any predictions for first pick, Sarashi? Because this time around, I don't know whether Imperial wants to show off what their jungler is going to be, or maybe even the EXP within the first phase.
I think they can get this Bruno here. Ur, as you can see, was the highest damage output, and he can hold his own. But no, they go for the Nolan, man. They want that aggression in the jungle. But now for SMG, they can go for a Faramis. They can counter these assassins, and they can go for the Bruno still if they really want. It's not worth it, though.
So what fighting style are we in now?
Well,
Tai Chi.
We're in Tai Chi. It might convert into Wing Chun later on, but we'll see in a little bit once we get into that second phase. Next 2 picks coming up inside of Team SMG. This time it's going to be Terizla as well as Bruno. I wonder if Marquino wants to get back at Smooth. He's like, you dominated me one game? Maybe I can get next word early on.
this is the question, can Marquinhos play the X-Borg, right? This is where the flexibility of these players are tested, because you can do well on 1 or 2 or even 3 heroes, but even afterwards, once those get taken away contextually or by direct bans, can you still maintain the same kind of performance? Imperial will go for that Faramis though, but I think if they want to go for the Faramis, a prerequisite for this pick is to get solid engages. They can really force your opponents to stay in there. Now that there's a Terizla on the side of SMG, I think that's a bit easier because we saw what issues Marquinhos was struggling with in game 1.
Well, let's see whether or not this first half is going to be beneficial for him or maybe another teammate, and it looks like no, they're going to lean back into the Clint versus Bruno matchup.
I don't know how I feel about the Clint, man. I know he got to a point, you pointed it out, Arashi, the damage was there. I think it can work good if, for example, they can get the Nolan to go, snowball up, get some early damage out, let the Clint shine later on. But that still begs the question, how's the XP lane matchup going to be?
Yeah, I think it's tough, man. With the EXP once again moving in towards that second half, things are going to start spicing up. Oh, wow, we see an early Cho pickup from the side of Team SMG. And if you don't know who the crowd favorite is going to be here, have a look at the drums. It's hard to hear even ourselves. I can't imagine the coaches screaming, not out of anger at their players, but to quickly lock in their heroes.
Earlier, I turned my headset volume up, and I'm still having trouble hearing the two of you.
I'm going to start doing sign language soon, guys.
Yeah, we're going to have to do like non-verbal communication here, because the crowd, dude, the Malaysian crowd, Gideon, your home crowd is absolutely wild, man. This is crazy.
I mean, think about the growth of the crowd, by the way.
Yeah.
Back the last time I was here in Malaysia, you guys didn't have drums.
We didn't have drums. We actually picked that up pretty recently in our seasons, you know? We learned a lot from our older brothers in MPL ID a little bit, you know?
Hey, the Philippines did too.
Oh, that's true.
They
did
too. They learned it there as well.
Oh my goodness.
It's part of the game now, man. The fan base cheering. You have to feel for Imperio, man. Against a home crowd this passionate, you have to be feeling some kind of nerves, right? It might not like derail their whole game plan completely, but it's definitely something they're feeling.
I mean, they're feeling like they're into the nether realm because right now, Farmus is currently the most picked. 19 times a mid lane hero, overtaking Valentina. Times are changing. The meta here at Wildcards is so different.
You know, there was a time though, and yeah, I feel like I'm yelling at this point, but there was a time that it was always Valentina and Farmus. You know, so it's like we took 2 steps forward, but we also took a step back.
I gotta bring this question to Arashi, right? Now,
what's up?
Let me just quickly wrap up the other bands. Lilia, Phoveus, Minotaur, and as well as X-Borg. The mid lane meta has been pretty awkward in recent times, right? The number of picks that you actually have access to has really dwindled down.
I think now first of all, you have to have good wave clear. I think now that's a very important part of mid laning that needs to happen. You have to have good wave clear, but then you have to pick between being full utility or full damage. That's what it feels like it's going to happen. So for SMG now, they pick up the Akai also. And we've seen this yesterday, by the way. A Terizla and Akai, and how sometimes they can really cancel each other out. So you have to wonder if they're going to do that, or are they going to do the plan we saw, I believe, in day 2, where the Terizla will start to engage, but the Akai will split the team apart into 2 segments so that the team fight really falls into their favor.
Which is actually quite beneficial here. Now, we come back to Imperial side, they lock in the Yuzong. This is going to be a very volatile matchup between the Terizla. A single kill can skew it into one of these EXP's favors, and there's nothing much you can really do about it. That's just the state of EXP as of right now. But that final pick, it's going to be locked in right here, right now. It's Kufra once again. Stefe crushed it in game number 1, but not enough to get a game win. Team SMG finish it off with a Valentina.
See, this is what I was talking about. This is like a throwback in itself, right? Farmus and Valentina, 2 Nether Realms most likely on the board. But still, I like what Imperio did this time. Stefan had a great game, like you mentioned, Gideon. So if he can replicate that and do even better here, they can build around that. And my biggest question mark, once again, is the Nolan. We've seen teams opt for it. It works out well for some, and others, it just falls flat on its face.
Yeah, is it the same situation as Roger, or what are we thinking here?
I think it's a bit more difficult even compared to the Roger. You have more safety, as in you're a lot more mobile than the Roger, technically jumping over, you can dash over a lot of walls to escape. But at the same time, you need to enter from a very safe angle, because otherwise you are very vulnerable to crowd control, and the only real way you can escape is your main damage tool.
That being said, it is time. Let's test the mettle of both these teams as we head into our second game in this best of 5 between Team SMG versus Imperial Esports.
Whew, look at the battle spots right here. There's some purifiers available, but you have to wonder here in the jungle matchup, it's going to be a utility jungler against a damage jungler. Who's going to have the better clear? Because Nolan is infamous, but these utility junglers also clears very, very fast.
I don't know about you, but I feel like whoever makes that first mistake in the upcoming turtle fight, it's going to heavily snowball in one team's favor, right? We all see what happens. The turtle goes, the purple buff gets controlled, and Miko looking to find some trades.
See, this is what he does every time, right? So this is why I'm saying Steph as well, he has to be able to protect Yor, he has to be able to come to these side lanes, help them out if they need, and if they can get some type of win, that would be great, right? Miko does this time and time again, but if they can put things into place before that first turtle, like you mentioned, Gideon, that could be great for Imperio here.
I think Miko here is going to be a big core component in the success of Team SMG. In this early stage where there's so much danger, he is that one hero with so much mobility and built-in shielding, so he can really find some information for his team.
Oh, already with the drag back, Stormy. Forced to flicker out. That is what Imperio needed to do. So he's not going to have it for now, at least for a couple minutes. So that should give them that little bit of an advantage for that turtle. And Saksa, though, in the mid lane alongside Miko.
That's some great comms coming out for the side of Team SMG. They knew he was on the bottom side, so it's very safe to assume that he's going to be somewhere along that river line, inside that brush. But let's look at the emblems.
Mobility, agility, and wilderness blessing for the Valentina and Cho. And you can see why, man. Just trying to be all over the map as fast as possible. For Saksa, he's full utility. He went for the firmness for a bit of extra tankiness, and he's going for the Season Hunter to ensure that he can just clear and match Nolan in the farming rotations as well. In the EXP lane, though, we're seeing this matchup just being a lot more even. But here we go, man. The first big fight.
It's going to be a big one. Already getting the dragon form out. Stephanie going to go in. Won't find a target. They just want to battle it out. Looks like Turtle's going to reset. So, Team SMG, happy to get some of these ultimates out.
Extremely happy, in a matter of fact. Like, Black Dragon form is gone. Okay, let's go right in as they contest that purple buff.
Oh, and with that, the Fracture is going to be gone as well. Aurora just trying to get the purple buff. They're probably going to give up the turtle. Miko caught behind the lines here. Should be a kill for them, but he's going to make some fancy footwork and get out fine.
That's what we're saying, man. For Imperial Esports, they need lockdown. Now that there's not a lot of utility coming from the mid lane, technically, without Freshen exposing himself, they need ways to lock someone down. Seeing the Cho pick so early on in the drafting phase, they don't really have any tools to really lock him down there to ensure that he can't be that pesky nuisance on their sides.
Well, that's only for the time being, right? Eventually, once they get their ultimates, now they have like an almost reliable way, but it's really the onus of Miko. Can he dodge it at the right moment? Now, cutting back over to the awards, the EXP side, Smo's doing a pretty good job here having that level lead, but notice down on bot side, a lot of importance. The roamers, the junglers are hovering around this gold lane.
For now, no real movements towards each other's junglers. I think for Team SMG, they're happy to just go for this more calm playstyle. It's their identity anyways. And against the Netherrealm, there's always the chance that something can go wrong. So if they want to scale up to the late game, they have a Bruno, they have a Valentina. These are very strong heroes with a lot of damage in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, they're going to be able to work on it. They're trying to get Stormy here. They get the Netherrealm down. Still going to be going for Aurora. Can't catch up to him. Heavy spin going to be utilized to push him out of there. Penalty zone right on top of Aurora. They take him out.
From anti-synergy to really nice synergy.
It's so good coming in from Team SMG, dude. They just come in and they force Aurora into these weird spots. And remember, Aurora is the one working against the clock here. He wants to abuse the assassin early game power spike. The longer the game goes, the more utility has a bit more value. That is what Saksa brings to the table.
But Team SMG, they are playing this a little slow, right? I mean, it's important that this Nolan does get this purple buff, but at the end of the day, I was hoping to see that Team SMG was going to take the initiative to try and take away the purple buff, really slow down this Nolan, simply like how they dealt with Aurora in game number 1.
Again, they just want to put him in a situation where they want him to come and fight them, right? They want to whittle him down a little bit. But yeah, if they can put some pressure there on the purple buff, I'm sure they'll do that. But so far, things have just been falling into place for Team SMG. Even right now, this looks like another turtle going to the hands. Miko going to flicker out. He took the orange as well.
He took the orange, dude.
Oh, Aurora, not going to be happy about it. There's the drag back, but Miko's just fine.
It's just not enough damage, right? Aurora really needs to find that very first kill and then start snowballing off of that. And with Smooth dominating his lane at the same time, this is becoming very similar to how game 1 started to look like. I don't expect the lane to start swapping. I think that right now Team SMG wants to extend the laning phase for as long as possible.
Because they have the mobility advantage right here, right? With the Cho and the Valentina just being everywhere so much faster than Fashion on the Faramis. It's almost like the Faramis pick is kind of giving Valentina just a better ult to have more presence in these big fights. And look at this. Every single time they're trying to set up for something, Miko shows up again and becomes a huge problem. And if they commit to it, they're going to waste a lot of time here once again.
Yeah, I feel like they're just kind of scrambling around right now, and that's what Team SMG is doing so well against Imperio. So Imperio, they have to be able to find something. Get on the board here. Miko going to use the conceal, going to be stopped in his tracks. Forced back though, Sox on the front of it all. Stormy there holding on to his own Nether Realm. But all of this for that turret, they're happy for that.
Okay. Really good gatekeeping. Wait.
Oh, Smooth has the rest of the team. He'll be just fine.
Dang, so many deterrents just walking up like, oh, you want my boy? You got to get through all of us.
Exactly, that's what a Teresa that's on curve can do. That is not what we saw in game number 1. SMG playing a whole different game. See, Miko just zoning, going behind, threatening an engage, and if Imperial doesn't respect it, then there could be a big fight. And slowly but surely, when they are too preoccupied, Sasa just takes down the turrets bit by bit.
I mean, they gotta whittle them down somehow, chip at them, find an opportunity, and now, honestly, the kill count this game is much, much lower. You know, only first blood achieved by the side of Team SMG. 7 minutes into the game, we haven't seen nothing too crazy just yet, but in terms of pacing, at least Aurora maintains...
Oh, this could be it. They find something. Miko to fall Smooth. Gonna be in trouble too. Aurora on the run. There's the Nether Realm. But Stormy and Sasa here next. Marquita goes in, gets the Petrify off to work on it. Steppe there as well. They're gonna be zoned out. Can Yer get there in time to put the damage out? He's stuck against the wall. Still gonna be going. Marquino falls. Yer backs off. Only Marquino's down. The trade.
Holy, what a fight.
What a sequence, it's back and forth, but that's Imperio equalizing. But look at the goal difference, it's still up there because of the farming difference. Miko now making a play.
Oh, the bola comes through, keeps Miko in his tracks.
Woo, that reaction time. Now, while that entire fight was happening, the backline of Imperial Esports was kiting away, and Smooth actually flickered forward to try to take on a 2v1 while he was low, and he was darn close at completing it.
That's one of the rare moments in this game so far where Team SMG aren't the ones initiating, aren't the one in control.
Oh, there it is
though.
Imperial's gonna be the one initiating here. Steppe gonna run back, chase down. Heavy spin on Yer, he's trying to get away. The rest of the team has to get there. Nether Realm for him. They're still gonna fight it out, but Imperial has to disengage.
Oh man, this game is just rubber banding back and forth from both of these sides. Nobody wants to give their opponent an inch, and if they find a kill, they're looking for a trade. And I'm expecting that Imperial Esports this time, they want to trade, but unfortunately, not until Steppe is back.
They lost multiple ultimates in that fight as well. Team SMB used a bit, but they still had 3 while they were going for that Lord. Stormy now also getting the Lightning Truncheon. That means that for Imperio, now it's not just physical damage they have to worry about. They gotta be worried of, out of nowhere, having a surge of burst damage coming in from Stormy on the mid lane.
I am a little curious about the items though. I would like to have a look at it just to kind of see the pacing of where Aurora is, but wait, hold on.
They might try to find something again. Sox are gonna heavy spin, find Steppe for the lockdown, waiting for the rest of the team to make their way. Smooth also joining the fight from the backside, looking for his own entrance. They're gonna find Steppe, he's caught out. Way of the Dragon comes through. Do they continue on? The penalty zone finds one. Fashion, can he get away? Stormy jumps in, gets the kill, and he's caught under the turret. But another run comes through again for Team SMG. Meanwhile, on the top side, Yer gets taken out by Sasa, and Team SMG running into the top side with the Lord.
That just can't be real right now. It feels like Team SMG are empowered by the crowd behind us, because now they're getting on with this. They're aggressive.
See if they can keep it together. Once again, Marquino takes a couple shots. They still want more. Aurora in trouble. Gets taken out easily from Team SMG. Working on the mid turret. Lord's finally gone. Can Imperial stay in the game?
Team SMG, they don't even have to back away. They can stay here if they want to. Steffi goes in.
Steffi gonna jump in, still gonna be fighting for more. Miko gets the kick again. Vengeance out. Penalty zone gonna be used. Smooth quite low, but Marquino's out. And Team SMG is powered by the crowd and will get the match point.
God dang! What a game! It was just a seesaw, kids at a seesaw, and then as they grow older and older, they're realizing, man, the weight distribution is just too big. We can't balance this out. Team SMG, so much riding on them.
That's crazy, man. It started with them being so tentative, so careful. In the end, the common factors from game 1 and 2, there's actually quite a lot of them, right? There's a Faramis, there's a Clint and Kufra. Any one of these have been tried twice, so if they want to change something, right, any one of these can also work as an experimentation. So we'll have to see what exactly does Imperial want to go with right here. Because usually when the going gets tough, a lot of teams default to their comfort.
The tough gets going.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, when the tough gets going, you just got to go back to comfort picks. I don't know whether Imperial is going to be in that particular situation, but I think for Team SMG, there's a lot less stress on them in comparison to their counterparts. I'm seeing the Yishin Shin once again getting banned out. The Angela, Team SMG on blue side and Imperial on the red side. I'm noticing similar bans to game number 1. I'm just going to double check this with Arashi. Is that correct?
For SMG, in game number 1, they banned the Yusunchin, Angela, and Wan. So that's actually the same for Imperial in game number 1. They banned the Mathilda, Nolan, and Arlet. So
They
hey,
gotta ban that out. They gotta take out the Matilda.
they
right?
gotta.
Yeah, they
Okay.
can.
All right.
All right. So on the dot, things are working very similar to game number 1. SMG, is it going to be the exact same thing, or are they going to switch things up because this is potentially the final
Bruno's
game?
open.
Oh, man.
Might as well.
Might as well. It's going fast. This draft is quick.
I would love to see Imperial take the Cho.
Oh,
Like that, I feel like that could set things up. You know, not sure how confident Stefe would be with that pick, but again, the fact that they took out the Matilda, you know, obviously towards Miko, you grab yourself the Cho, so Miko doesn't have it. He's caused havoc so far, right? So maybe get yourself that. You can go then for those pickoffs. You can go for that early kind of centric pickoff potential, build the snowball, build the momentum early, and then also, yeah, have a fallback for the objective takes for the Lord dances as well.
You have to keep in mind that the presence of a Cho also deters assassins. So if Imperial pick it up, technically they're getting a bit more security for Aurora if he wants to go for something a bit more aggressive. However, there is going to be a problem because like in game 1, it wasn't a Cho. It was a Grok that Nico used to really shut down Imperial, but this is the Daiworth, man. A standout pick technically for Marquinhos.
Yeah. This is what I've been excited to see about. The last time he played it, it was something that I was curious about because the EXP, it used to be like, God, Dairoth used to be the king. It's like, you want a 1v1, it's over when you pick Dairoth, and then Khalid starts coming in, and then Trizla started to get up, and Yuzong obviously is going to be there, but doesn't usually win in the lanes as hard as he does now.
Yeah, the winning in the lane is definitely something that's important right here. But as you mentioned, Gideon, there's so many ways now to actually match it. And you don't even have to win, technically. If you can shut down the lane and at least come out even, that's going to be enough, technically, to shut down a hero like a Daiworth that relies so much on snowballing. For SMG, though, they pick up the Joy, and we have seen it flex over to the EXP lane, by the way. So keeping it a bit more flexible, technically.
Okay, I like it a lot. Very similar, a bit of both of game 1 as well as game 2. Bans from game 1, picks from game 2.
A little variation here. Oh yes, there it is. All right. I'm already gonna say it. I'm liking it.
You're liking it?
I'm loving it.
Even if Fredrin goes into the EXP.
Whoa, what if it is a flex and Dairoth goes in the jungle?
Oh wait, you're right.
That'd
Fred
be
into
kinda
XP.
nasty.
It'd be
It's
crazy. It'd be
possible.
wild. For the wild card.
Very fitting.
I would think that it would be a bit too bold, especially with Team SMG having access to the Way of the Dragon, right? Like, I would much rather be on a Fredrin than I would be on a Dairoth, because at least with the Fredrin, you know you can actually take that type of damage. In comparison to Dairoth, where it's like, ah, man, I missed the kill because Tro kicked me out of the way.
Yeah, mostly when Fredrin does pop up, he just automatically goes to the sandbag, right? Like, he is the sandbag. So this, again, I'm hoping it's going in towards Aurora here, and they can build around this. I love what they're doing. Hopefully they can get even the last 2 picks that they really need, especially in the gold lane. Ooh. Hopefully it's not, like, I don't have anything against Clint, right? But hopefully we see some variation there as well.
Right. I mean, that's probably why SMG is also banning away the Ixia. They might be reading something from Imperio. And the fact that they banned out the Lilia, I think is so good. Because usually, especially if you're trying to contest for the neutral objectives, what's not noticed is the damage that this Lilia outputs and the slow, right? Now having a tanky jungler, having the Lilia denied away from SMG could be a great solution to that problem and also the Netherrealm counter.
Well, that's what makes Saksa untouchable, and that's why he's one of the untouchables, because 4 out of the 5 SMG players are in the top 5 of at least deaths per game. Miko and Stormy at 0.88 and Smooth at 1.0, Saksa at 113. Now, the one player, we're not gonna give too many hints. You've got a 50-50 chance of guessing which one it is, but let's get back into the draft. Now, it's going to be Imperial making that first pick in the second phase.
Okay. I'm still loving it. I'm happy.
All right.
It's shaping up a bit more, man.
Yeah.
But on that point, by the way, about the least, the lowest death ratio, it also comes with a very low kill ratio. So you have to remember the context of that clip. I mean, of that fact. But for SMG now, they go for the dominant EXP laner once more, and then they have the Valentina. So it's going to be a duel of Netherrealms. But both mid laners, both side laners, technically have a healthy amount of damage to really dish out and take away the HP of that Netherrealm.
Okay. That's a good amount of AoE overall. They've got some decent pickoff. I feel like, at least for the side of Team SMG, their battle lines aren't as clear-cut as it was in game number 1 and as well as game number 2. It looks like they might even be playing like 3-2. Oh, Guinevere, we completely forgot about that.
Wow.
We certainly did.
A pick that was talked about so much before leading into the wild card, who has had kind of I feel like an up and down performance, but we'll see if it works here.
I mean, you have to shout out Yasu right here, because he said we're not going to see any Guineveres in wildcard for the most part, and he would hate to see Fredrin, and it's both happening right now. So shout out Yasu in the backstage. We love you, man.
I mean, who could have seen this coming, right? Who can see this coming? I think with the
Yasu
meta,
can.
I mean, Yasu can apparently, but I think that overall the meta as we know it has a lot of different variations in terms of style that kind of counter each other in very small, significant ways. And then once we start getting to the higher tiers, the higher tier level of competition, M5 in particular, that's where it gets exciting. As we get into it, the wild card stage, we might find our first representative heading over to the Philippines, or is this the beginning of the end? It's going to be Team SMG versus Imperial Esports.
Now you have to really wonder, what can Aurora do on this Fredrin? It has healthy clear, and it's a fighter up against an assassin. It does seem like he's kind of slow on the clear though. Saksa actually getting it done before him. Is it going to lead to more aggressive moves into the jungle of Imperial Esports?
Oh, this is already the attention that needs to happen here for Imperial. Pay attention to some of these side lanes. Allow also Yer to have a game for himself, because he's struggled so far through this series, and things can fall into place for them. Again, a lot relies on Stefe here using the Guinevere, who in theory should work out really well, just like this. Stormy gonna be just 5 drag back though, still gonna be working for it. Not gonna be able to get it. Bastion, one hit away, will survive, and Miko with some finesse.
Dude, Miko was like, I could have taken the kill, but I'm not. Just know, you could have died there, brother.
Yeah, just know that it's possible. It's my choice. But man, we can see the difference in attention though from the roamers. Earlier, Miko was all up in the gold lane trying to swing the balance there. But for Imperial, they're really wanting to really make this EXP lane work. If Marquinhos can snowball, it's good for Imperial because Marquinhos is strong, but it's also going to shut down Smooth.
In the meantime, we're seeing a lot of motions across the map here. And so, I mean, considering that Steffe has been pretty good on these engagements, I have no doubt that this Guinevere is going to do a decent amount of work in the game, especially once they start to hit that level 4. But in the meantime, right, let's just look at the way the map is just split. The entire river is being controlled by Imperial.
That's usually a very good play, but for Miko now, he is just so annoying, man. He can get away from so many different situations. Imperial, they might get the first turtle in 3 games.
This is what I like to see here. Imperio taking action, spatial migration on Stormy, and that's going to be an Imperial turtle finally on the board for them throughout this series.
Yeah, I mean, in this entire interaction, at least for the side of Team SMG, Saksa is power farming, right? That's his goal. He doesn't want a team fight just yet. He knows that his team needs just a wee bit of time, so he's going to play towards that gold side as much as he can.
But Aurora now getting stuck with the Dragon.
With the Dragon, going to find Aurora. The rest of the team coming through. Appraiser's Wrath to follow. Abysm Strike can't find the target just yet. Steffi going to jump in. Stormy's the target that one. Smooth on the run. Still looking for that first kill. Violent Requiem going to be used, but nobody falls.
An absolute slugfest, and no one falls out, and Imperial, they equalize. Aurora taking away the orange buff that he exchanged with Saksa. And you're seeing now that this tankiness is really allowing them to really contest ground against Team SMG, so it's becoming a more even brawl technically, and even in the laning phase, right? The fact that they have a Brody and a Dairoth, they're really going all in to fix all the problems they had in the first 2 games.
Yeah, I think they might have a really good recipe here, and this could be an interesting lane gang situation on that top side. I'm noticing that Steffe is walking up in that brush, making sure that it's going to be difficult, and even for Yor, he's not revealing just yet. He's positioning in an interesting manner. Miko going to show up now.
Usually we also see that Steffe kind of goes over aggressive and gets punished, but on this Guinevere pick, you're engaged. It's a built-in escape into it as well, so this is a really great pick that allows him to be a bit more risky and open up more space and possibilities for his entire team.
Well, for the time being, no first blood. Despite how much this has been a slugfest in the early days of this game, and especially when it comes down to invading jungles, I'm surprised nobody's died just yet.
I think this is good for Imperial though, right? Get on the board objectively, try to control some of these, your side of the jungle and everything else, allow your side lanes to farm up, and that's where you want to be. Now they found themselves in a good situation to contest the second turtle. Going to be forcing out Stormy here. What's he going to do? He uses the Nether Realm himself, and now Miko has to rely on the team. Imperio still going to be working for it. Smooth already using the last Insanity. Saksa as well, battling for it, and Imperio is winning the fight, and they will go for this turtle as they do. They secure it. Flickers in. Finds Saksa. And now Miko could be the one in trouble. Stephanie won't be able to land the spatial migration, but meanwhile on the other side, another body drops for Team SMG. Still going to be working on Smooth here under the turret. Looking for it. Yor will grab it. And Miko.
+1 even. Imperio, they did all that without Marquinhos. He's all the way to the bottom side, still pushing, man. That's an overwhelming victory on all fronts for Imperial Esports. And what a big change from the previous games. Now they can kite back, now they can sustain and actually brawl in. And even Yor has more space to maneuver right there. And the fact that he held on to the torn apart memory for so long made it baited out several spells from Team SMG that were just waiting for that hit, for that ultimate to hit.
Okay, Aurora once again gonna get kicked by Miko though. He bit off too much as he falls, and now the rest of the team gonna be running Smooth with the last Insanity, but he has to back off. Steffi gonna be able to jump in, gets the Requiem off, and Smooth falls. So Team SMG still fighting here with Imperio in the driver's seat.
Wow, that was actually pretty interesting because at least Profession, right? He didn't have his ult at that point of time when Aurora went for the invade, but as soon as they start making their way out and going for the disengage, it comes back just in time. So really nicely done coming in from Imperial, and Steffe is just opening up so many opportunities in these quick scrambles against Team SMG.
We talk about it so much on the desk, but the spammable nature, the fact that it's on such a low cooldown but such high impact, that's a big problem for me, Team SMG right here. They don't know when it's going to begin, but look at Miko.
Miko on the hunt. There's the way the dragon. They're going for Marquino again. He's going to have to flicker out.
Oh.
Stormy making his way. Torn apart memory. Can't find Miko, though. Now Stormy going to be in trouble. Marquino finds the kill. Finds the mark. And Imperio still with the lead they have. They make their way to the turtle.
Now 2.6k gold behind. Team SMG, they're the ones lacking a bit of damage. Even Smooth not really winning out in the lane. Now he can really bully these other fighters and deal true damage to them without getting completely punished and possibly caught out with the spammable nature of Imperial Esports right here.
Well, they're not going to go ahead and take it. They just want to go ahead and fight Smooth using the last Insanity. They have the information. Still going to be working on that mid-turret, trying to get it down. Smooth gets out. And now Imperial has decided, let's just get this third turtle. They clean sweep the turtles for this third game.
Whew, what a turnaround coming in from Imperial. It feels like they figured it out now. They've kind of plugged up all the holes, and more importantly, Marquino, he is coming up big time. It's really, really huge. Like, his early game damage, especially against Zaza earlier, is definitely something that Team SMG need to start respecting. They can't just walk up like that.
Yeah, the Abyssum Strike, the fact that it's AoE and there's a lot of setup available to lock someone down for it is definitely dangerous, and now Smooth once again has become the main target.
Again, focusing on Smooth. This is his job as this X-Borg. Once again, the fight for this purple. Going to be taken, but look at the entrance.
Whoa.
Miko, can he find the target they're looking for? A whole bunch of flickers being utilized, and they pull off, they disengage. Marquino showing up as well. They have to respect the die-off here.
I think for SMG, the play is just to wait for that late game, man. Stormy's going to end up doing a lot more damage depending on what ultimate gets picked up. And if you look at the overall composition, the Dyrad is supposedly going to fall off unless Marquino builds full damage, which he usually does. But the Joy can do AoE burst damage. Technically, he can count as DPS as well due to the rhythm, the electrifying beats. And later on, the Bruno can do a lot more damage consistently compared to the Brody. So that is where I think Team SMG can get a guaranteed victory. If they want to take fights before that, though, that's their call.
Yeah, looking at the gold lead so far, 3.1k, a majority of that is actually coming from Marquino. He is 2.3k ahead of Smooth. Smooth was dominating in the past 2 games, and now Marquino is like, this is my time to shine.
In the jungle, though, you're seeing Saksa actually go a lot better than Aurora, but Miko now getting jumped on.
Miko should be fine. Torn apart memory going to go and come through.
Oh!
He isn't fine as he drops in the jungle. Right now, Imperial just finding win after win.
They are starting to snowball. They're really starting to snowball. And, oh, do they want to kind of set up an ambush on this one? No. They're just going to take the Lord, make it quick and easy. Since it's only the 9th minute, no point waiting all for so long. We can just wait to clear it out and then wait until the Luminous Lord comes up after this one.
It's such a good solution for the Cho, the Brody pick, right? You can stun him, cancel the engage, and if he is trying to be pesky, he'll escape with a sliver of HP like always, but then the torn apart memory secures that kill like we saw earlier. So now, even Miko is getting pressured, and he can't really be the same kind of nuisance that he was in the first 2 games.
See how far that is actually going to go, right? Because, again, Zaza hasn't yet to scale. And for the most part, even Smooth, pretty under-level considering that Marquino is 3 levels above him. Even when we come down to Stormy, a level down compared to Feshin. And then we look down towards Miko, 1 level down. And finally, Saksa, level 13, the only person who is actually ahead of the curve.
I would say out of everything that we talked about before this game, Imperial has answered that, right? They deal with Miko, they keep things at bay. Now they're going to be putting the pressure on Smooth. They get the flicker out, so still going to be working around this Lord push. You can see Marquino walking it through, and this will definitely be Imperial knocking on the base of Team SMG.
How long are they going to do this for? As they crack open that tier 2, this is where it really starts to get scary because we know how Imperial like to close out these games and start scrambling.
See if they can still put the pressure some more. They get the shields out. Lord finally taken care of. Imperial, given the 5k lead, they might just be happy with that and take the resources that they can for now.
3 towers there for Team SMG, and this is a big problem, right? For both these teams, they don't really have a long range. With the mid laners all the short range fighting ultimates, they have to bank on a big team fight, potentially in the base. And we all know that's the most dangerous situation right there, especially for Team SMG with a lot of crowd control and a lot of ways to really counter-engage. The only saving grace they have right here is the fact that Smooth has that second chance at getting picked off with that Firaga armor. All things considered, the fact that they're going to go up against a Faramis and a Fredrin, as well as a Guinevere, they're doing a great job just avoiding these fights because it's a lot of engage, a lot of card control available on such short cooldown for Imperial Esports.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything is going to change for the side of Team SMG, then they're just going to have to be patient, right? They've got no outer turrets, no kind of fail safes to fall back to, especially when they have to try and contest this upcoming Empowered Lord. And for the time being, it's really, can they find that big pick with Miko? It doesn't necessarily have to be Yor, but it just needs to be an isolated target.
Miko going to give the go signal. They get the Nether Realm to save Aurora. Can they win the fight? Marquino from the backside. He's looking for Sasta. A Wisdom Strike comes through. They find the perfect target, and Miko's in trouble to make it 3 down. It's a triple for Marquino. Maniac, can he get another? And Fashion will get smooth. What a play for Imperial.
4 flickers to make this happen for a complete wipeout against Team SMG. What a finish coming in from Imperial.
Oh, and with that, they're going to march it in. Imperial came out swinging and will extend the series as they take game 3.
Man, what a show. Marquinhos! The crazy laning potential in that Dairoth, man. He just finds a way to make it work. We thought it was going to fall off, but no, man. Instead, he gets a Maniac out of nowhere.
Yeah, and with the help of Veshin, right? There was a moment where I thought, okay. He's got the first 3. The 4th one and the 4th and maybe 5th one might be a bit sketchy, but man, that Nether Realm makes the difference.
We saw him waiting for that moment. He had Sasa in his sights, and then he just ends up getting a Maniac from that. Again, Dairoth, one of the picks.
It's so accurate, though. It is accurate. They are loud in this hall at Geospace. So come on over, because it's free seating. I would highly suggest you take it a grab to come on over here, because parking is going to be a bit of a trouble with so many people wanting to see these members fight it out.
Well, now for Imperial, they ban out the Faramis, but SMG, they usually ban out the 1-1, but if they do, now they're letting go of a Mathilda. I think Imperial has caught them in a bit of a sticky situation right here. 1-1 will be banned away, but will the Mathilda come through for Imperial, or do they have something else in mind?
Another draw while we wait.
Oh no.
Oh, he wants it. He wants it now. Okay. It's all right. Oh! It's still about okay, not the greatest, but still,
hey,
at least he's getting something.
Like a 10 roll.
It's a 10 roll, man. At least he's getting some cutscenes. It's the worst when you just see a bunch of nothing and you're like, oh, well,
yeah,
that's sad.
That's true.
That's painful.
Or that means that you already have a ton of skins.
Right.
Well.
Maybe he's a Chad, right? He has all skins already.
That's true.
He's been rolling since a long time ago. But what will SMG roll in here against a Mathilda, man?
I don't know. Probably there is a consideration for Phoveus every single time we do see that Mathilda. A lot of the times it's like, oh yeah, you get basically Guiding Wing. Oh, that's 2 free dashes almost instantaneously. And then you can start going for those big hitters. Now, we do see that Team SMG is starting with the same opener this time, the Bruno as well as the Turizla. They're not changing it up too much here. And the real question is that even if they do decide to go for those, like, big pickoffs, Mathilda can save them technically.
Now I'm wondering if the Turizla, we're just talking about the Dairoth, hyping it up, but now they're showing the Turizla. In other regions, we've seen it flexed away into maybe like a mid lane position. Considering, we don't know. I mean, we'll have to see, man. Like if this Turizla will have the same kind of impact. For Imperial, though, it's going to be that Dairoth. We're talking about going up against the Turizla, and that's Fredrin as well, but the Lilia goes through.
Really interesting matchups all across the board. I mean, Dairoth definitely has just a slight advantage against the Turizla, but this is highly dependent on whether or not one kill gets to go over, or more importantly, the way that they trade at specifically level 1. Because almost immediately after that, it becomes a uphill battle for the Turizla if that level 1 trade does not go through. Now, real question, boys. Mathilda nerfs, no problem.
Yeah, even with the Flask of Oasis, right? She still remains 100% contested at the M5 wildcard. Again, I think it's just the amount of mobility and utility that this hero brings. It's kind of hard to dethrone that, I mean, even with some of the changes and whatnot, we've seen some of those KDAs that some of these roamers have, and even Miko alone. And I feel like that's great that Imperial took that from him. They took that from him. They still get the Dairoth. They have the Fredrin. I said this earlier. I love what they have. I'm loving it.
It's really impressive, considering the fact that like a lot of heroes are only really usable. They really work so much better with the Matilda as well. That's why I think it's contested. The presence of a Matilda will immediately bring upon so many more heroes that usually are not really considered. But now the Grin is available, right? I was seeing it earlier. The fact that they know that their second pick means that their first pick in the second phase, and they have left the Guinevere open.
Actually, might not be too bad for the side of Team SMG, right? It's going to force Imperial to actually take Purifies, and I think, hiding it first also is pretty decent because the Akai is a great way of actually dealing with this. I don't expect Saksa to be like, you know what, direct counter, I'm immediately going to go back onto that droid, or I'm immediately going to go back onto something like Hellcrit and turn off the lights.
Well, it's funny though, because I feel like what's the classic matchup for you guys with the Fredrin? Is it the Martis?
Usually it's the Martis. We're a little bit behind, but we're hyper aggressive. We like the early game a lot. Right. That's why they lean in more to the Martis.
I was going to say, it's either the Martis or the Akai. So,
well, Martis, Akai, and the Fredrin, that's the kind of matchup. But I think with SMG's playstyle, with how more calculative they are, instead of just going full-on aggression, I think we'll prefer the Akai over the Martis. For Imperio, though, that's the Novaria that's been very uniquely used, right, for utility as well as burst damage, and it's going to be the Brody. So final card right here for SMG. Can they really surprise Imperio with something?
Well, it looks like Aurora, more information on him, that ranked as the first among junglers in average damage dealt and DPM with 47,944, and also at 3,040 when it comes down to just DPM. This is not okay. Yeah. This really is not okay.
Hey, it's crazy. It's okay for them, right? And that's what I'm saying. I love that he's adapted now, picking up the Fredrin here. And you saw that Rafaela picked last pick for Team SMG, a debut pick here for the wild card. We'll see if that's going to help them out with what's going to be thrown at them, because I was saying, I was expecting Imperial to have not a complete same draft, which they don't, but they still have a lot of great picks that they had from the previous game, and then they sprinkle in a little new ones.
The Rafaela debut here. The combo with the Bruno is definitely the main selling point, but even now against this composition, there's a lot of slows available in the hands of Imperio. The fact that they have a Rafaela that now removes that slow effect for a certain duration means that Novaria loses value, means that Diver to a degree loses some value as well. This could be what they need to really kite back in and out like they did in game number 1.
Potentially. All eyes are in this game to make it to that break point. Will our representatives all the way from halfway across the world be able to start a reverse sweep against the hometown favorites? It's going to be Imperial on the blue side versus SMG.
Now it's a jungle fighter matchup, fighter duel in the jungle between Saxar and Aurora. We'll have to see if the ganks do come through, or if it's going to be a passive early game until the turtle shows up, because I think that favors Saxar to a degree.
The thing here too, like we saw from Stormy before, Steffi gets a little bit of damage here, but Stormy has to just be a little more careful than what we saw from the previous Lily performance that he had earlier on in the series, not to get just bursted down, right? And I feel like Miko is he's going to be a big part of that. Let's see if he can take care of Stormy a little while. Of course, when the Black Shoes are down, he gets even more vulnerable, so we'll see how that results throughout this course of the game.
I'm looking at the battle, at the emblems right now. Steffe has the focusing mark on the Matilda. This is an aggressive choice. Usually Matildas go with the quantum charge to help with the mobility, try and help with the regeneration as well. But no, he wants to go for pickoffs against a team with a healer as well. I feel like it's a bold move for sure, but looking at the rest of the emblems right here, weapon mastery for Ur. He wants to bank on that late game still. And for Sasa, he's going for a bit more tankiness, knowing that he'll be targeted by a lot of dive. But then he'll still be trying to just duke it out.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the differences here, right? Common emblem coming in from Miko compared to support emblems. Oh, support emblems coming in from the side of Steffe. This might be a potential first blood, but let's see.
Yeah, they still want to actually find it out. Marquino doesn't have the Abysm Strike yet, so even though they were there on time the way they need to be, they're just going to do this all before the first turtle for taking.
Well, this is where it gets complicated right here. Miko with the healing, with the slows, Stormy with more slows as well. If they're trying to dance around, it's a guarantee that Imperial will be taking a lot more damage. Now they're trying to go in potentially.
Team SMG still going to be fighting it out. And for this fight, Marquino now level 4, but still might just call it off. Right now, Team SMG should be able to secure themselves this first turtle as they do. Whoa, Stefe, interestingly enough, walking into multiple members, will flicker out.
Man, no circling eagle, just walks up right there. Yes, going to be able to get out with the flicker, but that was quite the odd play considering how the turtle was basically done at that point.
Yeah, he might have accidentally pointed it the wrong way. Even Stefe, you can see in the camera, it was just like, woo! Well, the most they got was my flicker. Thank God they didn't get first blood. But at the end of the day, I think there's standard protocols here, right? Imperial are very dependent on their EXP laner to kind of even the odds when it comes down to that full fight around the turtle side. And the fact that at least Smooth was able to get some really good trades against Marquino and prevented him from getting level 4 on time, allowed them to take the turtle for free.
I feel like now it's not going to be as simple for Imperial to just go in aggressively, considering the amount of crowd control and especially the amount of a long duration crowd control, like the heavy spin, like the penalty zone that just lasts on the ground for long periods of time. It's going to really be a big problem. And remember, you're on the Brody, the auto attack animations do get cancelled by the pulls of the penalty zone. So in a big team fight, there are a lot of things that can really go south for Imperial Esports.
Yeah, they got to be able to take care of Ur here. And again, that's why they're doing this. Going to find the lockdown with heavy spin, circling Eagle there as well. But Team SMG spots it out. They just disengage. And that's what I was saying, leading into that. They got to be able to take care of Ur, allow him to scale up once again on this Brody. And we've seen how well Novaria can work for a lot of these lineups. Miko going to take a shot there, but again, a lot of just poking back and forth.
Really nicely done by both of these teams. Team SMG are making sure that they're making an off-tempo play so that their ultimates will be back up once a turtle comes on that top side, and then Imperial trying to cut them off in the middle of their jungle, looking for an isolated target to punish the rotation in the first place. So really well thought through from both sides. But as we get into this upcoming turtle fight, I'm seeing a lot more ults coming in for the side of Imperial in comparison to Team SMG, as theirs are coming off cooldown.
Team SMG can just dance around for a little bit, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of eyes on Miko right here. Imperial definitely want to punish this Rafaela, especially when she oversteps. But look at these like slow cancellation coming in from the healing.
This time again, the battle for the second turtle. Marquino going to jump in, looking for the setup, gets locked down though with a heavy spin. Take it out, first blood in the hands of Stormy. Now Aurora there, circling Eagle going to be committed by Steffi. Turtle going to go ahead and reset for now. Both junglers still battling it out. They have to call it back. Team SMG winning that skirmish with both junglers deciding to just go with a stalemate. I think Aurora might still actually want to contest this.
No, this is awful because Team SMG, they're doing this on purpose. They're delaying this turtle. The turtle technically doesn't matter to them. It's a fun little bonus to get, but Stefe is getting punished for it. Marquino's getting punished for it. And more importantly, Aurora has to make these calls. Do I just walk up or no?
The long game from SMG, man. They know that Imperial are trying to go in aggressively, so when the play happens, they just lay off the turtle immediately and went for bodies first. And afterwards, that's where they just get the clean, calm, calculated turtle. And even if Imperial backs away for a bit, the fact that there's a Rafaela means that the sustain game is just so much better out there. It's a great strat from Team SMG, and for Imperial, they have to wait for some more items maybe to really get that kind of dominant fight they require to win.
Man, right now, hold on. Smooth could be the one in trouble. Defensive penalty zone out. Waiting for Stormy and the rest of the crew to get here. Now Aurora going to be the focus. Stormy, Smooth, chasing him down. Ooh. Should be just fine though. Steffi's there now as well. Black Shoes to go back. Steffi using that circling eagle around, but has no backup. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Ur is in trouble. He has to go back. So as we were saying, you know, with this Dyro effect this time, the answer seems to be either that heavy spin or the Holy Baptism. You have a couple tools to throw at him now if he initiates.
That's true. A lot more ways to kind of disengage, but they're really prolonging, they're purposely prolonging laning phases, and every lane has won at this stage of the game. This is the same philosophy in Game 1 as well as Game 2 that Imperial were trying to clamp down on in Game number 3.
I feel like it's almost like this Lilia pick is the linchpin of the entire strategy. The fact that you can just harass so effectively, all in effectively, and control the wave so much better. I mean, Stormy's up against a Novaria, and it doesn't even matter.
Oh, there's the lockdown again. Aurora going to be the one in trouble. Can't be saved. It's so much CC.
Oh.
And Smooth is going to jump in as well, forcing him back, Steffi. But you saw the combination, the heavy spin, the baptism. It's too much.
The layers, as they say. The layers on this cake is looking real good. But so far, at the very least, whoever wins this early game, apparently, whether it be Imperial or Team SMG, secures every single one of these turtles uncontested. Whoa.
Oh, Smooth, the one could be in trouble now. It's too much. And Ur gets that kill, but the turtle going to the hands of Team SMG.
The timing on these plays, man, it's always so good. I think partially why it's going so fast when one team is dominating is because both teams are just so good at pushing their advantages and looking for opportunities to snowball even more. Right now for Stormy, it seems like there's a bit of utility involved right here. The boots and the first item choice, it's all about spamming out those spells and having it up for the big fight. And for Smooth, he's going with the Dreadnought armor first, but he has the Fury Hammer because he wants to be a legitimate threat for the backline at least. If he lands a penalty zone onto the Novaria or the Brody, that could be a bad situation for Imperial Esports.
I also feel like Imperial, as of right now, right, you know, they're getting a little bit of setbacks, but that's why they're pulling every single one of these members. They're pulling Dairoth away from the side lanes to try and protect their main win condition, which is going to be letting Yor actually scale up. He does like taking Weapon Master, so therefore he's going to need items to really get that benefit.
Well, for now, Steffi already has the Flash of the Oasis completed, by the way. So Team SMG, they're not going for pickups though. So the fact that the Flash of the Oasis is available doesn't really change how they're playing, and now they're going brute force for the turret.
Wow. Okay, Saksa just pushing them away so they can get this tier 2 turret. They're going to be happy with that. They're trying to get this space advantage before that Lord comes up here.
Oh, I mean, if they keep on playing like this could get very, very dangerous here. Like, Saksa knows that he's tanky, and he knows that he's got a level lead, but we've seen what happens when he gets a little too overconfident. Some might even say cocky.
I guess for Imperial Esports, the only way they can really get a dominant win in a fight is if Team SMG is willing to engage them in an exchange. Because otherwise, how exactly are you planning on catching this Rafaela, this Lilia, this Akai to an extent? There's just so many ways they can really dip out of a fight once it looks unfavorable for them. And for Imperial, well, the best they can do is go with a Matilda and a Fredwin. Those are very short duration crowd control tools.
With the Lord already spawning, you see Team SMG, they're immediately trying to take control. I mean, look at that wave management. Bot side immediately shoved down. If Team SMG want to start a fight, now is a pretty good time to do so while Dairoth is halfway across the map.
Yeah, he's going to make his way there though too, but is he going to get here in time? Lord half health. They're going to work on a heavy spin on Aurora. They're trying to get him out of the picture, and they do. Marquino going to jump in, finds Steffi. Sasta goes back. It's a triple. Miko down as well. 4 fall for Imperial. What a fight for Team SMG.
Oh, and they even got like the big spells out of Team SMG. I mean, the heavy spin, even the black shoes was already gone. Marquino, he had that moment, but Miko said no.
The crowd control usage from SMG is just absolutely insane right now. At every turn, Imperial layered their approaches. They go in one by one to avoid getting comboed. But look at what happens, man. Aurora gets locked down. Marquinhos comes in late in the fight, gets locked down. Steffi getting a 2-man knockup, no follow-up due to all the lockdown. Team SMG are just so good at this right now.
Oh, they've entered a state of mind.
Whoa. Smooth gonna jump in. He finds Ur with the penalty zone. They burn the flicker. So right now, Team SMG even surprising Imperial.
Wow, an ult for a flicker almost instantaneously. I definitely think you're panicked there a little bit. Not entirely sure what he could have done more in that type of situation, especially since Steffi probably could have pulled him out, but better not risk it just yet, especially at a critical moment like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerves, especially in such a tense moment. The Lord coming in though, SMG, they're not really synchronizing the waves. The mid and top side maybe, but now Stormy, look at Stefan just dueling. That's the Matilda power. Is that enough though? Because Team SMG, they're going in for a play.
They're gonna push it to the base, turn on the top side down. Stormy whittling them down here. with those glooms. Now the mid-turret gonna fall as well. Holding on to one, Marquino has that shielding, got quite low. Does Team SMG just fully expose the base and back off here? That's what they're after. Finally, the bottom turret will fall.
No minions, no problem, man. They just stand there, take the hits, take the turrets, because they have a healing dispenser, man. Miko is just there topping everyone up. Fashion is trying his best to poke them down, but it doesn't matter at all.
Oh, this is difficult. This is really difficult to watch because from Imperial's POV, this feels like they're getting suffocated out once again, but Team SMG are really taking the initiative to make sure that they maximize their abilities while minimizing Imperial's overall impact. An 8.4k lead is almost a death sentence, just 1.6k more to really close out this game for the side of Team SMG. 40 more seconds until the Lord spawns.
Looking at the items right here, the Wind of Nature is completed for Sasa, a great measure of security. But for Stormy, he also has the glowing wand. Stefan now able to escape, maybe?
Look at the damage coming through here. Stefan already used that Circling Eagle, but he just has to go back here. Team SMG still just waiting, taking everything. They're 20 seconds away from the Lord.
Stormy just lethal on that Lilia, man. And the fact that he does percentage HP damage means that no one is safe, including Aurora, despite his defensive itemization.
Oh, this is difficult. I think that at the very least, if Imperial wants to make an off-tempo play, they're going to need to find a way around Saksa, because he's the most difficult target to actually get to bypass, right? The first person who bypasses Saksa is immediately going to get sent into a wall by that heavy spin, no doubt about it, right? But even then, there's that added layer. Wait, the information has been given. They're walking up.
Kino gonna jump into the front. Aurora as well. He's got to be careful not to get locked down. Goes out from the area. Lord's still gonna be half health here. Team SMG gonna continue it on. Imperial looking for their own entry point. Sock's gonna find the lockdown. He gets the flicker out from Muir. Lord, and now a fourth of the health. Aurora gonna be in trouble. Penalty zone comes through. 2 down for Imperial. Make it 3 as it's a triple again for Sasa. Marquino split up. Fashion split up. And it's Team SMG running into the base here. What can Fashion do? Can he even get back to the base in time? He can't. The whole team books their ticket to redemption and they beat Imperial 3-1.
Team SMG, for the second time in a long time, they have a chance to go to the M5 World Championships in the Philippines.
We'll be seeing you in the Philippines, Team SMG. What a performance right there, completely demolishing, denying Imperial Esports.
It's been a very long time since we have seen another team make it into the stage. And for Team SMG, this is an important moment because now it's just the beginning of their journey. The last time that they were in an M Series, it just wasn't enough. Now they want to make it work. With that being said, let's have an interview with our winners up on stage.
Everybody, Imperial Esports.
Right now we are witnessing both teams greeting each other, but yes, now we have to invite Imperial Esports on stage.
Everyone, let's give Imperial Esports a round of applause. You may now take your final bow.
Hold on. All right, Aurora. Let's give a final bow. I'm gonna do a count of 3. In 3, 2, 1, we give the final bow. All right? In 3, 2, 1, bow.
It's been a great journey for Imperial Esports, and we hope to see you stronger next year. And now, it's time to announce the new Malaysian representative for the M5 World Championship.
Let's invite Team
SMG! Congratulations, everybody. Now you get to participate in the M5 World Championship. What's going through your minds right now?
How are you feeling?
Wow. Amazing. Just feel very good. Just nothing to say. Just very good.
All right. Honestly, now, Sasa, since you were holding the mic, I do have to ask you a question because we watched your interview and you said going to this wildcard, there's a lot of pressure. There's pressure everywhere for you guys to perform, and if you don't perform, it's over. Now, you guys are going to M5. How do you feel the pressure is going to affect the performance?
I think after we go to M5 now, the pressure is all gone already. Just like if go to M5, then we just all in on it, just do the thing, just do our best in M5.
The pressure is gone, but they're going to do their very best. They're going to go all out for M5.
And now this one is for Miko, for Saksa, for Coach Pao. How meaningful is this victory for you, especially that you get to go back to your homeland, but this time, you're waving the Malaysian flag?
Sobrang saya po kasi bilang player, ang sarap po i-representa yung sarili mong bansa. Pero ngayon po kasi, parang dalawang bansa po yung nare-representa ko po.
According to Miko, as a player, it feels really great to represent your country, but now he gets to represent both country, both Malaysia and Philippines. Saksa?
Sobrang saya ko na makapasok sa M5. Kasi yung mga nakaraang kong season, 2 beses ako nag-top 8. Tapos di ako makapaniwala na sa M5 na ako.
He feels really good to be able to make it to M5 because the past 2 seasons, he just made it to top 8 and he can't believe that right now he's in M5.
So for me, I'm very happy and thankful at the same time for the Malaysian community. Guys, you guys are so awesome, guys. And we'll do our best, guys, to represent you.
Now I have a question for Smooth. Smooth, you went to M3, it didn't go well, but now you're going to M5. How is the journey in wildcard, and how is the journey you're expecting going to M5?
Melayu
Melayu boleh, nanti I translate. I translate, no worries, no worries, no worries.
Okay. Kita orang punya journey dekat wildcard ada baik ada buruk dia. Kita orang belajar kesilapan kita orang dekat wildcard, kita orang akan baiki dekat M5. Dekat M5 nanti kita orang akan buat lebih baik.
He said during the wild card, they've encountered a lot of things, a lot of mistakes, each of which they will fix, they will improve, and they will give their very best at M5. And now, Stormy, I have to ask you as well. Your family is there, and we talk to each other. You were talking about your dreams, and your dream is to go to the world stage, and now you're going to the world stage. How does it feel for you?
I'm very, very happy actually. Yeah, that's it.
You're very happy that you're achieving your dream, but you're weeks away from fighting against one of the best mid laners the world has to offer. What's going through your head?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Stormy, you know, you have a very supportive brother who's been here since day one. We interviewed him earlier. Your mother is here. They were actually in tears earlier. Even your sister right now can't stop herself from crying. With such a support from such a great family, is there something that you want to say to them right now?
Actually, my sister gave me a letter actually before the game.
Oh, she gave you a letter?
Yeah.
What did it say? Can you tell us?
Oh!
But it's too long.
It's too long.
What does it say? You know, it's really amazing when you have such a strong support.
Oh, it is very long.
From the fam. Can you summarize it? Can you summarize it for us?
I can't.
I cannot.
Stormy,
Do you want me to try?
summarize it for us. You summarize. If you can summarize that and just tell us what the letter is about. Just tell us what the letter is about.
It's just about me and our childhood together, and she's very happy for me and my family also. And she's just, yeah.
That's so sweet.
That's something that not a lot of people have, and I hope that you appreciate and you treasure. So thank you to Stormy's family for supporting his journey here, especially with him becoming a pro player. And it all worked out because now Stormy is heading to the World Championship.
All right. Now, before we proceed further, I do have to say, SMG's analyst, Lung, You said you won't be celebrating your birthday until you qualify for M5. Now that you made it in the same week as Miko's birthday, we have a cake somewhere in the building. Where is the cake?
Please help us celebrate.
Let's all sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everybody on stage. Happy birthday to you.
Now it's not just an imaginary candle. You get to blow an actual candle. Your wish has come true. You are now heading to the M5 World Championship. What would you like to say to everybody?
Let's give it to Haru. Do you have anything to say to everyone here? It's not just SMG fans. It's basically everyone from Malaysia supporting SMG.
To everyone who has been supporting us since day one, even in MPL League, we would like to say thank you very much. Even though we lose during the grand final, but you guys still came today for us. So we would like to appreciate you guys and thank you so much. All I say, and the Flame Boys also, everyone. Thank you so much.
And now, Team SMG, you may now take your bow.
All right. Can someone help to take the cake for a while? You know, let's them, you know. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Team SMG is heading to the World Championship. You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory.
Let's give a big round of applause for Team SMG!
Team SMG is Malaysia's second team to represent them in the World Championship. For the first time in history, Malaysia has two teams to represent them.
I would say, as a Malaysian, this is a very proud moment. And Team SMG, they worked very hard the entire wildcard stage. They were unable to do it during the grand finals of MPL Malaysia Season 12, but they have redeemed themselves. And now, looking forward to bring the trophy back home.
The entire Malaysian community is proud, and they're cheering for Team SMG.
But it's not over for today, because we have another best of 5 coming up. And it's gonna be an exciting best of 5. We'll be going for a short break, but after this, we'll see which is the next team going to the M5 World Championship. We'll see you there.
Stay tuned for more MLBB action. It's time to be better than great.
With that being said, the drafting
Gonna look like. So I think it depends on how the coaches want to strategize and what they pick in the first or second pick, right? They can always throw them off with some flex picks, knowing that both these teams, they're using a wide array of heroes, some of them not even meta.
All right. With that being said, the drafting phase for the wildcard stage of the M5 World Championships have begun. One more slot is left. Who's it going to be? Team Lilgun, or is it going to be Nightmare Esports? Lilgun, take the blue side. Nightmare going to be taking the red.
Oof, for now, I mean, the Khalid is immediately respected, and so is the Angela and Baxia. That fast-paced playstyle from Nightmare is something that Lil Gun don't need to deal with, so they'll take it out of the table for now. For Nightmare, it's a bit more straightforward. The Nolan and the Mathilda, usually we see the Ferrum is being thrown in this mix as well. But if it's not that, the Bruno is still a very solid first pick.
You know, after the previous best of 5 that we just watched, all of a sudden seeing Khalid first ban, it's like, it's all coming back to me now where we are here.
This is the wild card.
This is the wild card, right? This is what we were hoping to see, and more importantly so, it just kind of goes to show that homework has been done to a certain degree for both of these teams.
Not only that, but interestingly enough, when we wait for this last ban here, I wish I knew the statistic for the red and blue side, right? Like, does it actually matter with the way that the meta is shifted right now? Because, you know, right now, the fact that Bruno's open, does it necessarily mean that a lot of these teams pick up the Bruno first? Sometimes they do. It feels like it's one of the best options for the gold lane. It's safe. It usually performs really well. You can keep the Bruno alive for the best you can, but still, there's a lot on the line just because of the fact that that's a Khalid Baksha first ban. Angela, you know, that's not so crazy or not so wild, but also the Arlott being banned out, very much respecting Aizen there, like you mentioned earlier on, Gideon. And another pick he really likes is a Terizla.
Well, it won't be picked up because the Guinevere, once again, is showing up here.
Wow.
Wow,
is that percentage correct?
Is that correct?
No, the number. No. The number was just so big that we couldn't keep it all in one little small little portrait.
It transcends.
It transcends. It overlaps even more. You guys just can't see it.
It goes
Don't
above
worry
100,
about it.
so 103. So the display just says 3.
+1.
+1.
+1. But the Guinevere makes an appearance again. So shout out Yasu for saying that it won't. But for now, we'll have to see, man. We saw earlier that the presence of a Guinevere really makes it difficult for you to even contest ground, for you to even find areas of the map you can make plays around with. So with that in mind already, a counter you can think of is a Grok, right? Immune to the crowd control. We'll see if that is what Nightmare wants, though.
We'll see. The Terizla is going to get... Oh, okay. As well as the Joy. I feel like Nightmare they've got a good start here. They identify what Aizen likes to play. It could be a particular target at this point, and now that Aizen doesn't have access to Khalid either, the question now becomes, does he want to go for a Yuzong, and is Nightmare going to be a little bit more prepared for it?
The Yuzong definitely can win out the lane, and the Yuzong and the Guinevere, I think in a way, kind of guarantees that you can really shove away your opponents in the middle of a neutral objective contest. So if Nightmare are predicting that kind of, if they're waiting to see that kind of problem being shown to them in the drafting phase, they gotta really find some way to really engage a fight before the turtle comes up, or maybe dive in the back line, bring some kind of crowd control immunity.
Crowd control immunity might be that'd be pretty good here, and especially if we're thinking about it in that sense, Lilgun could also do the same and flex around with that Guinevere, but it looks like they are going to be locking in the Novaria as well as the Bruno on this blue side. So far, I mean, it's looking like Nightmare is trying to lock down Aizen's overall hero pool, while Lilgun, they've got like a relative strategy, a general strategy that they do in the first game in the best of 5 series. Overall, kind of like a blanket statement, you know?
Yeah, which is funny because, again, you're looking at the history of their best of 3s, right? That game 1 that we typically see, I feel like they kind of try to, I don't know if you want to call it the discipline route, there's a little pickup, the discipline route, or they go a little bit slower. And then for some reason, they push the gas, game 2 and beyond. Now, with this lineup already, the first 3 picks, I don't feel like that's necessary if they want to opt for it. Again, Novaria's picked up. You're playing the vision game. You can whittle down the team if you want to, but because you have the first pick, Guinevere, you're usually seeing, some assertiveness happening in the early portion of the game. And one thing that we've talked about extensively here these past couple days is the fact that, you're not typically seeing a ton of objective dances anymore. The turtles, the lords and everything. And you're kind of just... What I love about the wildcard teams is they love to just duke it out, right? And I know you guys are used to this in your respective regions, but I love to see it, coming from the MPL Philippines. Now, I'm not saying, we don't have that ourselves, but so far for the wildcard, it's been back and forth, and now I'm just wondering how these teams with the first phases adjust to that.
Well, if we're talking about adjustments, we have to talk about Guinevere jumps into this particular meta, because Guinevere currently holds an 88.9% win rate, and that's a large number in comparison, and a 94.1% ban rate with pick rate at the M5 wildcard.
And it's no surprise, I mean, it's really, really good. And you can see that for Lil Guns. They're trying to limit the engage potential as well. My question is, with all the expectations heading towards a roam Guinevere, will Lil Gun just throw us off and actually put it in a different role? Because we've seen the Guinevere, it's just so flexible, it can make its way to the jungle, to the EXP lane as well, actually. So, if they want to try and surprise Nightmare, this is the moment, man.
It's like the old R-Lot. You didn't know exactly which lane it was going in, right? It could actually fit in like 3 different lanes.
Yeah, the good old days, the good old days. I used to say that about Terizla until he went back into Metal with no problems.
Aren't you the R-Lit main?
I was the Terizla guy.
Oh, you're the Terizla guy.
You were top ranking, right?
Top Malaysia?
That was ages ago. That was ages ago. Nowadays, not so much. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. But looking at considering all the variables here, right? Again, Nightmare Esports focusing down on the junglers and making sure that they're expecting Lil Gun to actually play with thicker and harder tanks. So getting the carry early on, I think it's still a little dangerous, but still, Lil Gun have options.
For Nightmare, though, this is a very, very aggressive plan here. They have DPS magically with the Lilia, but they also have the carry and even the Joy. So this is a lot of squishy targets, but it's a lot of damage output. So for Lil Gun, I wonder what the idea is going to be. If they make a big tank to try and sustain, it's not going to be very realistic. I feel like they have to play around mobility, right? The way we saw earlier from SMG. Kite in and out of the fights before the DPS character that has short range can really screw your team over.
Well, I'm hoping for suppression here from the side of Lil Gun, and there we go! The Kaja gets locked in, and now we are seeing the glue as well. A particularly decent matchup into the Terizla.
Yeah, I love it. I actually like this. I know, export's usually the answer, but glue works great too, and it's a hero that technically it's kind of, fallen off in a way, and I'm not sure exactly why that happened, but it's still a great option. And not only that, but now you kind of have, obviously, this tankier frontliner that you can use. If you need to, you can use it to pull. It's actually got great utility itself, the hero alone, and then you have the Kaja, right? So the pull potential is great. What's the response from Nightmare Esports? They go ahead and take the Ruby, another hero we haven't seen much of.
I thought that looking at the glue, right, the immediate counter comes to mind, the Faramis. I thought, wow, Nightmare might go for like a roam Faramis, and that would be brutal. But went for the Ruby, and it makes sense as well. Right now, in the middle of a big fight, if the glue pops the split, Ruby and Terizla are gonna heal massively, and that might just help them out. Although with the Kaja in the picture, it seems like a prolonged fight is the last thing that Lil Guns are going to try and go for. I think they're going to go for speed, pick off, and then get out.
Yeah, let's not forget about the utility. By able to open up the map with the Novaria, it's going to be able to help them refine their decision making. Usually, we expect them to be a little slow at the very beginning to figure out those habits, and it really is starting to align here. As we get into the Land of Dawn here, the next potential team to be joining us at the M5 World Championship starts now here at the wild card. Welcome, everybody, to game number 1. It's Lil Gun from Mongolia up against Nightmare Esports from Laos.
Oof. The highlight matchup right here definitely is the Joy and the Guinevere. Who's going to clear faster and who's going to have more impact, because the backline of Team Lil Gun is vulnerable, but will Lexi even have a chance to go in there? There is the Kaja as a counter, quote unquote, but if they're saving the Divine Judgment to try and stop this Joy, then how are they going to get the fights before that?
Well, let's find out as they go into their first engagement. At the very least, we're seeing that Nightmare Esports can recognize the danger that Team Lil Gun actually presents. And I feel like, for the most part of it, which side of the map are they looking to play for if you are in Nightmare Esports' shoes?
The shoes of Nightmare Esports, I gotta say, it should be the gold lane. I mean, look at Cammy already going for the tenacity and the firmness. He knows he's gonna get under a lot of fire, but So out of nowhere, as we're analyzing, gets taken out. Trying to roam, but getting punished for it instead.
Even with the Purify, like he used it. But unfortunately, this early damage from Team Lil Gun is a little bit too much to handle right now. So again, first blood in their hands. We know that they like to play with momentum.
Let's see how much momentum they're able to generate off of this, right? It means that Soso's going to get slightly delayed. They hard shove the lane as well, and we're looking at the EXP, right? In terms of both sides, both Forbidden as well Soso, basically the same. So technically, Soso is only just giving away gold and not really losing too much in his own lane.
And in this EXP matchup, it is brutal, man. A glue lane is so difficult to deal with. Of course, Juviana can clear the wave and sustain, but overall, the fact that the cooldown on the Slam resets when you pick up the blobs, that means you're in the lane. Technically, you have one of the best all-ins among all the EXP laners. That is a difficult task to try and handle. And we've seen earlier, when the EXP lane falls behind, that could be dangerous.
I mean, to go even more detail, while this technical boss is actually going on for the side of Team Lilgun, hopefully our marshals have got that under wraps, no problems. The important thing is the fact that even though he does get the Slam resets, there's also the passive buildup. So while we do see Terizla trying to go for the trades, trying to hit him out as much as he can while pushing the waves, he gets slowed down even more. And especially at level 1, it becomes dangerous because then once you get encapsulated at max stacks, catching him by picking up those blobs, you instantly lose the lane at that point.
This is absolutely brutal, man. And he goes with the concussion as well, but here we gotta see once again, dude.
This is the perfect entertainment for a break like this.
Okay,
okay. He's got a round skin. Okay, Atlas as well. Come on, come
Reactor
on.
core.
Has to be a good one. Oh,
Matilda. All right. Come on, we know what we want. We want to see it.
What?
No!
Hey, that's Stoppa.
Turn it back. Oh, it's a light board. Let's go. Okay, that's pretty worth it.
That's fitting, by the way. I was going to...
Exactly.
Dude, we've
Nice
been
too.
roommates for 4 days.
We're in sync.
I know. Tigreal, he had his first win yesterday, and now he gets drawn. Oh, is she going to go again? Oh, I thought she was going to go again.
Oh, the dream. Hopefully this inspires more people to start rolling down on these streams, dude. Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. 2 more minutes until our tech issue is going to be double checked here. Maybe it might even end a little bit earlier. But as you mentioned before, Arashi, they're, again, going to be putting from the side of Nightmare Esports, they're going to be putting their resources towards that gold side. I feel like Lilgun's overall game plan seems relatively simple, right? Because again, as long as you affect the jungler and take away the support, well, not the support roamer, but in this case, the reinforcements that's expected to come, it just makes it one step easier for Lilgun to actually go for these 5v5s.
They have a lot more mobility to play around with, and in the early game at least, they have a lot more burst damage and utility to play around with. For Nightmare, we saw that Lilia can clear the wave, but during the roam attempt, she's going to be moving along with a Ruby and maybe a Joy. And in this early stage of the game, that isn't really that strong, right? The damage is quite limited. You need some more items. You can really rely only on that. And that's how we're seeing Lilgun coming out on top, punishing that roam. And that's a great start, but can they keep the pressure up? Because we all know how devastating Lilia gets.
Well, I think it's time. Let's run it back as we get back into the land of Dawn. Let's see the quick updates here. I see level 4s, I see level 5s, and I see Sora instantly in the purple buff side.
And also, it looked like Turtle was secured earlier, so they're still going to be battling out here on this side of the jungle. ZXORA going to be quite low. Juviana picking up a kill. They get the flicker out as well. Not sure if Aizen wants to commit to that. He will back off, so it's a 1-for-1. But Team Lilgun got that turtle.
And they deny the purple buff away from Too Easy for Lexi. It's kind of, so that makes it kind of equal, I guess. But for Team Lilgun, getting the turtle is definitely a win, considering they are up against a very strong, like mid-lane rotation-ish later on, especially after level 4. So sneaking that in is great, but now what can they do with that lead, right? Are they going to try and get into the gold lane, go for a pick-off? Because the Divine Judgment in this early stage, without enough damage, it's not exactly a death sentence when you get hit by it.
I think if that is going to be the case, oh man, another game pause has been initiated. Don't worry, for all our Laotian fans, Nightmare Esports has sat through this once before, and we see that with each and every pause, it feels like they're just stacking up. They're getting stronger and stronger each time.
Yeah, and you guys were expanding there on the XP lane, the roam, and everything. My main question too is, what about the carry pick? A marksman pick that we haven't seen pop up too often. It works great against shredding some of these healthier heroes down and everything else, but it takes some time to build up, and then you have that limited range. You got to be able to bob and weave out of certain situations really well. And again, maybe that's why they went with the Ruby, right? To help heal, to help protect it. But how do we feel about the scaling of carry?
I don't know, because I actually agree with Naisu on this one. There's a lot of potential problems. It's not just the Divine Judgment. It's not just the spatial migration. It's just a lot of ways to lock people down. But before we answer that question with Arashi's analysis, let's see this roll.
Oh, it's again.
Kagura skin. I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh, wait. Is that? No. That's Angela. My bad.
That's all he got.
Wow. Available for Cammy if he goes into this fight. So
wow.
In a way, they kind of denied Nightmare Esports any real fighting chance. Now Zazora just keep looking for more things in the jungle here. With this Vinegar, you're just so safe. You can just be so risky because you know you have an easy way out. It's a double dash.
Yeah, but we're already past the 4 minutes and we're seeing the lane swap actually happen for the side of Nightmare. Juviana has to hold.
Oh! There's the pull, Divine Judgment, and the spatial migration. Juviana's going to be out of here. And they're happy with another pickoff, slow and steady for Team Lilgun.
Whew, that was quick, man. That is the decisiveness of Team Lilgun. But Nightmare Esports, Lexi just goes for a trade right there. Small victories, silver linings. But Team Lilgun is the one just controlling the pace right here. And now moving in together into the opposing team's jungle. We'll see if Nightmare Esports can get them out.
Well, for how long though, right? You're looking for like trade backs. Okay, you lose your buff, you take one small camp. Sure, that's totally fine. But too easy for Lexi. He's going to be taking up so much more because he's spending so much more time on the bottom side of the map. And let's not forget, at the end of the day, if Bebex ends up dying on this bottom side,
oh no, the damage is going to be there. Good pickup there for Too Easy for Lexi. Decisive moment, but now on the bottom side, Ethan could be in trouble. He might get sandwiched in. Yeah, 4-Bit trying to help him out, but he's going to get caught. The I'm Offended comes through, and another pickup for Nightmare Esports.
Oof, what a disaster there. That's just not the way to go. Just like that, they lost a bit of an advantage. They even lost a turret in the bottom side. Nightmare Esports striking back at the right time, showing that they can make things happen if they do get the window of opportunity.
I mean, that window is if that Divine Judgment is down. As soon as it's on cooldown, expect Nightmare to start making money moves across the map. But keep in mind, Ethan does have it up now. The real question is whether Team Lilgun is going to find that opportunity or force the opportunity from Nightmare.
Yeah, and again, as they get in position here, this is a great kind of back and forth so far for the early game right now. For this third turtle, I feel like Nightmare Esports is in a position to contest it as long as they don't lose someone before the actual dance starts up. But they're going to fight it out in the mid lane, looking for another one. Jasmine will be able to survive this split. Going to be committed. Aizen running them down.
Oh,
this might be a moment, though, for them to take it still. Soul trying to get away from there. Too easy for Lexi. Waiting patiently. He might try to do something sneaky. Spatial migration into the Requiem. Too easy for Lexi. Quite low, but he's going to be able to get away for now. Still looking for more. Tries to get the turtle. Cammy falls. Turtle secured by ZF. Oh, and 4-Bit lands the shot. Now Juviana on the hunt, trying to get some revenge. He will be able to get it. 4-Bit to fall there. It's a bloodbath everywhere on this side of the map. Ethan will be able to get away as well. Aizen still duking it out.
Man, a 2-for-2 trade in that particular fashion. Everything that could have gone wrong didn't actually go wrong this time, right? Nightmare dodged the initial engage, but still, Ethan is so proactive on the map, and it feels like everybody on the side of Team Lilgun are looking more refined today, especially for a game 1.
And don't forget Aizen just zoning, especially one of the main damage tools in the early game. So on the Lilia in that whole engagement. Even after the split just wears off, he just stands there menacingly. And there's not a lot of things that Nightmare can do. When they're looking for a play, they get exposed though.
They're going to be walking a lot in the mid lane, all 5 of them. 4 of them being revealed, but they already know where Jaforzaban is going to be. I'm going to be switching between those two all day, every day. Get used to it, boys and girls. 53 more seconds until the Lord spawns.
That was me too, you know? The first time I casted a Nightmare Esports game, I was doing the same thing, right? But one thing's for sure here, both teams relatively at this point, yes, the 3 turtles are taken from Team Lilgun, but you can see, when they actually clash it out and battle it out, it could be a 50-50 at this point.
Here's an M-Series fact, though. Grab is back. Glue is ranked 3rd in ban and pick rate last M4 World Championships, 98% in 102 games. That is insane, but now he's making maybe a bit of a comeback. We'll see if that happens. Look at Zora, though.
Zora gonna find the target. Jasmine gonna be in trouble under the turret. The rest of the team just has to sit there, but they're gonna initiate now. Juviana jumping in with the penalty zone. It's Aizen with a split. They're still gonna be going forward for more. Aizen giving the call. Ethan goes in with the flicker, lands it perfectly. Cammy's found, he falls. Still going at it. ZXORA now gonna be the one in trouble. Too easy for Lexi, goes in, but Soso cleans up the kill. Bebex with the damage here on that. Bruno gets the flicker out, and they're still going. Too easy, can't get it this time. Bebex barely surviving. and they get the turret on top of it.
Oh my goodness, I thought he would die to the lethal ignition at the very least, especially since he had the electrifying beats, but still could not get it off in time. With considering everything that has happened, the most frustrating part has to go over to Jasmine, because he got clipped right at the edge because of the increased hitboxes from the Astral Echo.
There was an engage onto the roamer, and they still come out on top there. You have to commend Team Lilgun for their precise damage calculations, man, because they've phased out of there. It's almost like a fadeaway kill onto Jasmine initially, and afterwards just knowing exactly how much damage they have. And you have to commend Bebex as well for just having the guts to just stand there and trade blows. This is one of the things that really made him stand out as a marksman, as a gold laner. He doesn't really back away against assassins. He wants to go head to head.
Wow, Ethan.
Oof.
Looked like he wanted to possibly do that. Maybe if he had the flicker, he actually would have given that a go, but you know, using the conceal right now, they're just going to wait for that Lord to push down to the bottom side.
Yep, I mean, if they can drag this out for another 15 more seconds, he's going to have that flicker back up. And knowing how Ethan has been playing so far, I'm pretty sure that might even result into an inhibitor turret, because Nightmare Esports sure as hell ain't giving them mid-tier 1.
Was that KDA? 9? For
9.
Ethan? And a roam?
I mean, that means he gets a lot of kills, assists, but also means that he has a very low amount of deaths. He's the forefront of Team Lilgun here in engages, but when he goes in, he almost hasn't been punished for it just yet. We'll have to see if he can maintain this clean sheet.
No, now that I think about it, putting it all together, connecting all of the dots, if Ethan has a 9.0 KDA and Team SMG has 4 of that 5 in the top spot, when it comes down to like just KDA and overall damage, it begs the question what those numbers are.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Interesting, man.
For the most part, the harassment is just starting to get annoying here. Like Forbid, he isn't being annoyed a lot, considering just the raw amount of peel, as well as the deterrence that they hold on to for as long as possible to make sure that Nightmare Esports don't do anything funky.
And I do feel like Forbid kind of knows when to actually commit and give his life up for the greater good almost. Because earlier, I think we saw Lexi jump on him, and he just stood there and traded damage back, as if he's saying like, okay, you can take me, but you know, there's gonna be trade backs from my whole team. I got my squad with me. So in a 60-second waiting timer for the Lord, look at the items here. Already a Lightning Truncheon, a Enchanted Talisman, and a Divine Glaive built by Forbid. So that's a lot of burst damage already, even onto Juviana on the Terizla, who is going for a bit of a Radiant Armor here. In that matchup against the Glue, I guess that's the way to go. For carry, that's the real problem, man. Only 2 items built up. The third, probably a Demon Hunter Sword, not even, I guess it's halfway there. But the gold disparity compared to Bebex, man, that is insane. Even with the Rose Gold right now, more ways for him to just stick in there, dig in, and just trade blows with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, his feet are in the ground right now, and he is very comfortable. And considering the amount of resources being pushed into him, there's, again, that's why he's 4-1-1 right now. That's why he's level 14, keeping up with his jungler, who is just a level ahead. But on the opposite side, even still, I still think that a 50-50 around this Lord might be able to kind of break this game open.
And one thing that I will say that, again, we don't see Ruby often, but she's great at base defenses, right? Pulling something amazing off with the I'm Offended combination with the flicker. But even so, I think it works better. There's a deficit that's clearly there. This is going to be a Lord going to the hands of Team Littlegun, and that's where I think Nightmare Esports, that's their best chances of staying in this game and possibly turning things around. Let Littlegun come into your base and try to pull something off, whether that's surviving the initial, you know, aggression with the spatial migration or whatever Ethan throws at them as well. Trying to keep alive there, trying to keep things going, because Cammy now just picking up the DHS, you're just getting to the point, right, where this carry is starting to be a threat. But the hardest part that we've seen so far is, again, the positioning, like we pointed out earlier on.
And I think the one particular interaction I would love to see is if Jasmine can react in time to Ethan flickering Divine Judgment and look for the I'm Offended and flicker back in to yoink him.
You know what? He can even preemptively use the Dome of Wolf King, so he kind of has like, he has double the chances of doing that. Because even that small like mini stun is enough to really cancel out the whole flow of the engagement. It can really mess up Ethan's targeting in the whole pick-off attempt as well. So for now, Nightmare Esports don't really have the tankiness to send someone in the front lines as well. So like Nice mentioned, staying in the base, but still looking forward to try and get something. That is that poke damage though.
see how this Lord actually tries to crack open this base. I don't think they're going to get this inhibitor for now, but at the same time, we wait in anticipation. Ooh. Come on. Where's that engage?
Jasmine has the immortality, but look at the spatial migration into the Requiem. Going to be able to find 2 targets. Penalty zone not going to be enough as well. Jasmine still has the immortality, but they're going to lose the mid-base turret, top as well. And shortly after, if Lilguns want to, they can take the bottom here. It's a couple hits away. They wait for the minions.
Ooh, they might just go for it.
Ethan gonna jump in, finds the target as Cammy finds the perfect one. Ethan's still gonna be alive, Soul falls as well. They're gonna go ahead and work on the crystal. It's only 2 members of Nightmare Esports, and it will not be enough as Forbid gets another shot, and they take game number 1.
Woo! What a clean close coming in from Team Lilgun. Now, kind of breaking the mold this time, not dropping that game 1, but instead taking it for themselves. Now it's up to Nightmare to adapt to them.
That is insane, dude. They took the fight under the turret. I haven't seen that in a while, man. Usually now, you go for a pick-off and get out, or you go for a fight, and in the middle of the fight, take down the turret first, and then continue. They just completely ignored the turret and fought under it, man. That just shows you how strong their tanky members are to tank the hard shots. But it also shows that they just have full confidence in how they're going to execute that game plan. They just read through it and knew that they can make it happen.
I mean, let's not also forget that Guinevere is jumping so deep in that he basically spatial migration into the spawn.
Yeah, that was amazing, you know, and it's just, you guys said it. This is a very different Team Lilgun than we're used to seeing in game number 1. This is what we usually see from them, at least for the wild card so far, what they show in game 2 and 3, right? This is a very strong showing, and every single time, I gotta give it up. This Guinevere here, there's a reason why it's highly contested or banned out. It obliterated so many parts of the map, and also the objectives, they handled that so well there. So again, useful that can be, but also you have to expect that on the flip side, you're gonna see some of those heroes pop up that Lilgun likes to play with. Now, one thing I would love to see, like I said, for Nightmare Esports, starting off strong. If that, I don't know if that is gold lane for them because the Bruno's taken out. You don't typically see another gold lane. Guinevere is open. Not sure if they want to go that route either. It's not going to be, they go the Arlot.
They go for the Arlot right here. I was actually curious about the 1-1 because we saw in one of their matches, Nightmare, they picked up the 1-1 twice, I believe, first phase. So I thought there was a possibility that showed up. But not for Lilguns. I feel like the Guinevere in game 1 was so beneficial. The fact that it's left open right now.
I think they take it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna definitely take it.
I'm thinking about counter engage. Last game, Nightmare had the Terilza, and you basically have to commit with the Flicker if you're not able to close that distance. Arlot kind of works in the same way, but if he lingers around long enough, he's able to get that free dash before going for the final stash. Now, let's have a look at the fun fact. Ethan is the man. Team Lilgun. Ethan ranks first in average assist, 13.33. Team fight participation of 85.4%, and a unique heroes used 8.
Wow. What? He's taking everything, and look at this pick, dude. The 1-1, as I said, was left open. Like we're informing you, Wolf himself said in MPLI, during MPLI, it's one of the stronger heroes. Provided you do have the set. Oh, what?
Whoa, all
triple.
3?
Oh!
Okay, I see a Boxia skin. It's kind of all right.
I'm getting split focus.
Double light board!
Double light board!
Oh no, that's not a light board.
Oh, I thought for a second it's Landslide. They're still rolling! They're still going!
Oh, he got the Harley!
He's got the Harley. We can see a Tigreal. Okay, Alpha Fierce Dragon. All right. Keep on rolling. Atlas is already pretty good. Mia, all right. Oh,
those are decent.
Those are pretty decent
All
pulls.
right, dude.
Lightborn Tig.
Another Tigreal, though. What was that?
It's a sign, Arashi.
It's a sign. I don't know, my fingers are getting itchy already, but I gotta focus on this game before anything goes out of hand. I see the Beatrix as well as the Contra get locked in for the side of Nightmare Esports, denying it from Ethan's hands. Lilgun, on the other hand, is going to be taking, the Valentina as well as the Andra. A lot of juicy ults here so far.
I think that's a plan to really make use of the Final Slash or the Divine Judgment that is available from the side of Nightmares. And in a way, if some, another crazy ultimate comes up, there's still a lot of options available. But I mean, even in the beginning, the 1-1 and the Angela, that's already quite a devastating combo. I think this is going to force some jungle ban from Nightmare because, a Boxia, like we saw in the skins earlier, or a Yu Zhong could be a huge problem here combined with the hard guard.
Or Tigreal.
Or Tigreal.
Let's go.
Might be the sign, right?
It might be the sign. Novara gets banned out for the side of Team Liligan, but Nightmare, they're going for those jungle bans. They're getting rid of the Martis. Let's see what else they're going to pair this up for the side of Liligan, or at the very least, are they going to keep on focusing towards that mid lane mage?
Towards the mid lane, I feel like that's a safe bet. The Lilia is still available though. That really comes to mind, right? Having a good laning phase, as well as good roaming, particularly because now for the side of Lilguns, there are less ways to really punish that big roam maneuver, and they're going to be banning the Akai, so I think they're a bit concerned about the big team fights, especially the ones near the neutral objectives. But here comes that Baxia ban. What kind of jungler is going to show up here?
Yeah, I was just wondering that. I wonder if they'll go, because Martis is taken out as well, I wonder what they're going to throw in the jungle.
Oh, of course.
Yep. Yeah, might as well. It was open. And that's why I'm saying I'm surprised this time around Nightmare Esports didn't opt for the Guinevere, knowing that even the stats. Oh, another draw.
Another draw. What do you get? What do you get? Oh, the Empress Phoenix!
Wow.
Yo!
Oh my god!
Please conclude this game. My finger. I need to roll. He's still going.
He got
another Farsaskin.
He got the.
Did he get it?
I think he got the Ballman. Did he get the Ballman one?
He got the dunk?
The basketball Ballman?
I think so.
He got dunk.
He just skipped it like he didn't care. He's like,
He's double tapping it on accident, man. He's just going so fast. But let's look at the fun fact. We can't Richie versus too easy for Alexi. Tops the M5 wildcards with the most number of turtle steals.
Oh, wow.
I will say, I'm glad he picked up the Lancelot. This is a signature pick for Too Easy for Lexi, so you might as well pull it through now. And he has so much experience in like tournament experience on the Lancelot alone. So we'll see if it's enough to handle Lil Gun, right? Because the Guinevere is going to be there. They got to battle it out. And if he just relies on that stat alone, steal some turtles. That could be a great start for them.
And you're really seeing why they actually picked up the Kaja as well. It's going to be a big problem for the Lancelot. But for Lilguns, that's going to be Aizen on the Uranus. I think we've seen this once before. It did not go well for their opponents, man. Aizen just stood there menacingly, and there's nothing their opponents can do about it.
Chest up, puffed up. What are you going to do about it, bro? What are you going to do about it? I'm going to cut all the waves.
I don't know if Uranus talks like that, man.
I'm sure Aizen does.
He needs the echo effect.
That's true.
Aizen does.
He just stands up from his secret lab chair, walks on over. What are you going to do about it? Holding his phone.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. With the compositions we've seen so far, a good way to sustain, a good way to maneuver around for the side of Lilgun. But even for Nightmare themselves, they have answers. They have solutions. And I'm curious to see which of these strategies, problems, and solutions are going to be coming up on top as we head into the land of Dawn. We move into game number 2 between Nightmare Esports versus the Lil Guns.
So looking at the battle spells, Bebex is on that Inspire. Mirko says it's a necessity to play the 1-1. You don't go for anything else but that Inspire. So there's that. But in the jungle, man, Lancelot against a Guinevere, I feel like the Guinevere has so much more safety to try and even attempt plays, whereas the Lancelot is going to be a bit more limited, especially considering the amount of targeted card control that Team Lilgun does have on their composition.
Well, I mean, that's why people like to pick up the Lancelot, right? Yes, it is dangerous, but there's a lot of outplayability because of his kit, and that's the whole idea to get... Oh, hold on, this Lithuania might be spicier than I thought.
Yeah, they're still going to be going quite low Soul. ZXOR might get another shot in as he does, but yeah, back off to it. The one thing that I'm concerned about for Too Easy for Lexi here is also the fact that if Forbid actually takes the Divine Judgment, then it gets that much harder. The threat is there, to actually contest some of those objectives or even some of the fights later on.
Ooh, look at Bebex just making the plays happen, man. Especially when you're on the Renner, it's going to be so difficult, and we can see this play coming in. Huge, aggressive push into the jungle. We cannot get Lexi out of the game.
Reach for Lexi. Oh, he can't escape that. First blood going to the hands of ZXORA.
Yeah, you want to dodge the Violent Requiem as well as Spatial Migration, but as soon as he pops that Violent Requiem, you're just stuck in it, especially when you don't have enough dashes to actually make that distance. Speaking of which, actually, we are starting to see some of the members hitting their level 4s pretty soon, and Aizen continuing to proxy this wave. He controls so much space down on the bottom side of that map.
That's the thing with the Arlet though. You have a lot of burst damage, but that's burst, right? Against a Uranus, you need something a bit more consistent if you really want to take him down. So if he wants to reset and get some vengeances onto Aizen on the Uranus, it's gonna pick him to half HP, but then what? He just stands there, regens the full, and he always has the lane priority, and that is what Team Milgun is trying to use right here.
Looks like Nightmare Esports are not going to be able to walk up and have decided, you know what, we're not going to touch the turtle for now, right? Let's just move away from this control and start scaling up as quick as possible. We'll find another opportunity to get back into this.
Well, you know, they're still winning. Wow, and spatial migration right where it needs to be. Going to find 2 targets. And I was just going to say before that happened, Jasmine's not even level 4. He is really gapped here in terms of just the pacing of the game and the way that this should work with the Kanja.
He just wants to breathe, man. He wants to play the video game.
Well, he doesn't have the same kind of liberties that Ethan had as game number 1. The EXP laner is not going to be there faster than the Uranus. That's number 1. Number 2, the jungler's an assassin, right? Not a fighter. So he's the one that's stuck all the way in the front. And with the emblem choice, he's going for the quantum charge, but would that be enough for his tankiness?
Too easy for Lexi. Is he going to be able to get away? Using that Thorn Rose. Takes a shot as well, but he's going to be fine for now. Juviana now going to be joining the party. They do get the flicker out. That's the final slash from the Requiem. Still going to be fighting it out. Looking for the kill still. Heartguard comes through, keeps him alive.
Huge save, but that means that Nightmare is able to actually take space, right? On that top side, they could potentially try and push Bebex out of there, and Ethan has to comply and has to move up there to deny that. And once Nightmare see that, back away. But cutting back down to EXP side, Juliana is like, please, end me!
I think it's only a matter of time before Aizen makes his way into the base of Nightmare Esports, dude. That's the only logical progression. He's getting closer and closer to it, even just living in the jungle. And on the other side, there's the rest of Team Milgun. For Nightmare Esports, even if they want to try and catch Aizen, can they even have enough damage?
Cammy could be in trouble here. Ethan there, if he gets the flicker, might be able to survive still as he does. Jasmine waiting there. Not able to really do anything, and on the bottom side, Aizen just continuing to be a menace here on the bottom side, and now the focus,
do it again.
Top side turret here. Forbid has his own Divine Judgment, Jasmine taking a couple hits, and they might just back off. Turtle is spawned.
Okay, at least they were able to clear that wave on that top side, right? They're not going to go for the redive. The turtle is up, right?
Hopefully.
Aizen's just living in the jungle, by the way.
He's being rent-free in the minds of the players of Nightmare Esports too, dude. It's too easy for Lexi. There's no way he can even get any space. He's getting shooed away. Like, he just shooed away from this whole situation.
Heartguard gonna be there. There's the final slash. They're gonna push ZX Aura off. Let's see if too easy for Lexi can even get there. He's gonna be bullied by Aizen too much. Just zoned out himself. And they're gonna get control again of the turtle here. Soul in trouble. Black Shoes. Forbid has the Divine Judgment. Doesn't even need to use it. And still, Team Little Gun finding win after win.
I think it's a fascinating approach here for Little Gun, man. They have a great mid lane combination, and they have relatively ungankable lanes. Now it's going to be a 1v2 from Juviana, but look at that. They can't really do much against this, this sustain coming in from Team Little Gun. So the side lanes have such outplay potential, the Uranus and the Wanwan, right? They can, crossbow of tying a wave and outplay. The Uranus can just out-sustain. And worst comes to worst, there's always the Heartguard. So now Nightmare Esports are stuck in a position where they have no idea which lane can they play on.
They could get this off, the Divine Judgment, but there's the Heartguard into 3 members of the Violent Requiem. Still going to be going Forbid, pulls his own member. Too easy for Lexi, is going to be the one to fall. Soul will still be able to live unless Forbid goes for it. They might still put the pressure here. Conceal going to be used as well, but they'll disengage for now.
Oh man, the only person who can really outplay himself right now, Forbid, is himself. Flickering into that wall, a bit unfortunate. That could have been a very, very free kill for him as well. But doesn't matter. Top side still losing a T1. Bot side is taking a good amount of damage in Aizen. I wish I could hear the what his inner monologue is telling him. Is like, okay, gonna do it again. Oh, what do you do? Hi. He's not even communicating with the rest of his teammates at this point, right?
We're saying that I'm him, bro. This is my anime. You guys are not the main character. I am him.
I am him.
Maybe the song "I'm Just Ken" plays in his head as well.
Well,
you never know.
Gonna be a disaster once again. Soul the one to go down this time. Again, we question how did they give up the Guinevere again to Team Little Gun?
That's a very difficult question to answer, man. And they picked the Kaja into the Angela as well. The more the game goes, the more you're seeing that is just such a tough situation. Now you lose in the wave clear assist, and you're also losing because your main power, your main strength, the pickoff, can't be utilized. Predictive spatial migration.
The fight for the purple buff. They force out the retribution. There's the final slash from Juviana, but it's Aizen. He's going to be just fine. And also Turtle for the taking here. Both retributions going to be down though. So Team Lil Gun will go ahead and start it up and find what they can across the map.
That preemptive spatial migration, that was actually kind of sick. It was in the right direction. The prediction was on the right time. It was just slightly off in terms of the hitbox, right? That's all that it was. And even for Too Easy for Alexi, it's still a dangerous time. It's conditioning him to say that I am not safe in my own territory.
I think he used the puncture just a split second before the spatial migration actually lands. But now look at Tyson just taking everything. Can they get him?
He's got the immortality as well, so.
Oh no!
You know, he doesn't really have to do much.
Soso's gonna die if he keeps standing there. Aizen can do this forever, like a very literal forever here. Nobody can really take him down until we see Cammy actually start scaling up. But we could see that even for Team Lil Gun, right, they've got their eyes set on the opposite side of the map.
Right, looking at the in-game items, Lightning Truncheon completed for Forbid, so a lot more burst potential, more movement speed to maneuver around these fights. For Bebex, having the Demon Hunter Sword and the Corrosion Scythe, I think he's getting up there. I think with one more item, he's going to Wind of Nature. He's going to try and go in aggressive in the next fight, most likely. And he can outplay so much with all the options he has.
Well, still fighting under the tier 2. Final Slash going to be used. Still have to fight it out, though. Soul trying to lay down some covering fire. Black Shoes himself. Bebex not even looking for the kill, but Soso left to his own. He will fall. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, they finally got a turret there, pushing through, but still have to fight it out for their own buff. Spatial migration, gonna find Too Easy for Lexi again. Trying to get away, but he can't do it. Juviana now the next target. Final Slash, he puts himself in range, and it's a double for ZXora. Still gonna be going now. It's Jasmine on the run. He's stuck here. Forbid gonna hold on to it and gets the kill. It's a disaster for Nightmare Esports.
There was a potential for a turnaround there. I did see them both, Kaja as well as Beatrix, along deeper in that lane. They didn't expect Team Lil Gun to actually walk in and keep pushing forward underneath the tier 2, and they had to make a split decision. And for Camry, he's like, it's not worth me dying. I don't want to be there. Get me out.
This is going from bad to worse, man. Ethan has just completed the Flask of the Oasis. He was doing all that without the Flask of the Oasis, dude. Now with the increased healing, with the shielding when you're low HP, pickoff is there's no pickoffs, okay? Pickoffs are not gonna happen. Nightmare Esports, they have to look for something else. Pickoff is just off the table. It's done.
Yeah, I mean, so far these Divine Judgments haven't really made that big of an impact compared to Team Little Gun from Ethan in game number 1, right? We're expecting to see Nightmare try to be aggressive in these situations, and more so when Cammy is near to actually go for that wombo combo.
And so now Zora still opening up the map. He's no Uranus, but honestly, he's been absolutely tanky, man. I'm not quite sure how that's even possible. I know he's building tank, but do you even see how tanky he is? He has built-in regeneration in the kit, right? With the stacks, technically, right? If you get a full one, you do heal up a bit. But still, dude, it's just Ethan in the back. It's not even always the hard guard. It's the healing.
Whoa, once again, Too Easy for Lexi, gonna get caught out. Tries to get away with the Phantom Execution. One shot away, he will be able to survive. Hard guard gonna be used as well. Still, the Lord, even on the top side, alongside a Lord, a mini Lord, Aizen. So he is keeping them at bay. Still in the mid lane, going for it. Soul, the target, he falls. And it looks like Team Little Gun with a 10K lead will still push into the base. Working on that mid turret, Too Easy for Lexi. Takes a couple shots, Juliana with the Final Slash. There's the flicker come through, but can they get back? They get him down. Can they turn the tide of the fight still? Forbid also half health. Now they're gonna go and commit to it. Too Easy for Lexi. Can't find the kill he's looking for. Cammy has to get out of there. Now the spatial migration again. Still on the hunt. The Phantom Execution goes through. They're gonna take a couple turret shots. It's one hit away, but they will disengage.
You know what's worse than just a really tanky Uranus? A Uranus with a heart guard on it. Literally unkillable. The man, he hasn't based in a really long time. Doesn't need to, will never need to unless he dies.
they even lose his immortality in that fight. They fought that fight without Bebex.
Yeah.
Their DPS tool was not around. And they just said, we heal. And they just walk forward. They walk anywhere they want. The immortality isn't even pop, dude. How demoralizing is this for Nightmare Esports?
I'm not gonna lie, if I was in Juviana's position, I'd be like, all right, GG, go next. Like, I am like zoning out of that laning phase at that point. There's so little that you can do as an Arlott in this matchup. And worse yet, when you need the play to happen, he's so far behind, but he does find these really impressive follow-ups.
You almost feel like maybe there's some value in just going next immediately, because this is mental fatigue building up, man. Trying everything, trying to find a solution for such an obnoxious team comp right here. It's going to be so mentally taxing, it might even carry over to game number 3.
And it's not like these opportunities are being wasted. It's just that Nightmare Esports is just too far behind to really capitalize. They're getting stat checked right now.
Oh, look at those numbers. And right now, too, you know, Kemi, what, just got the 3rd item. I mean, he did get a kill earlier, but gotta have something happen here, because even with a threat like this, Lord gonna be up here. They're gonna battle it out once again on this side of the jungle. There's the final slash, gonna be pulling it through. Heart Guard comes through on top of it. They have to run away. Aizen keeping up 5 members there at bay, and ZXORA will go ahead and take this Lord with Team Lil Gun.
What did I say? Stat checked again! Oh, at least they got a tower. I mean, it's small retributions all across the board, but I don't know. This is starting to feel a little depressing.
Now Ethan also has the Ice Queen's wand. Everyone's running away, but they're too slow.
Forbid, he's got it, but he's going to go down before he can even use the Divine Judgment. So Forbid's taken care of. So Nightmare Esports, they have a little fight in them, but now they have to deal with a Lord come down the mid.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because from this point onwards, if they're able to somehow defend this upcoming Lord with a 9.3k deficit, and well, probably one more Lord after that, then they start to break even.
Well, there's a chance. There's the late game Lily that they can fall back on. Let's see, what will Team Ligon do with this? The Lord's getting cleared up really, really fast. Aizen's trying his best to zone at Minis for the way. They go for a play though.
They jump in with a space of migration. It's Juviana, their target. They get him the crossbow. Tank 2 forces the black. Still going to be able to go. Bebex has the Heart Guard as well. Jasmine holding on to the Divine Judgment. They're going to push in with these strengthened waves of minions. They'll fully expose the base. Too easy for Lexi, has to be careful how he approaches it. Turret finally gonna fall. They'll work on the base here. Cammy can clear these minions. Jasmine's gonna use the conceal. Can they hold on a little bit longer? Team Little Gun, full force into the base of Nightmare Esports. Gonna be looking to end it here if they can. Forbid has his own Divine Judgment. They find the target. Too easy for Lexi, he's quite low. They don't have any minions just yet. The next wave will push in. Juviana up again, there's the final slash with the spatial migration, goes through, still can't be able to find him, the crystal's gonna be worked on, another body's gonna fall, and make it another, and that's Team Little Gun taking game 2.
Ooh, bruh, that was a game. I mean, well done to Team Little Gun. Again, very cool, calm, and collected, literally almost no emotion on their face. They're like, yeah, this was the expected result.
I mean, of course they are completely collected. There's no danger. They're at no point in that game where they're like, oh, I'm gonna fall. If they do get taken out, they know it's a risky play. They weren't caught off guard a single time.
Well, I think it is time as we get into the drafting phase of the wild cards. This is match point. Keep that in mind. Match point for the qualifier to get to M5 World Championships. We got Nightmare Esports on the blue side, who are currently trying to look for a reverse sweep against the Little Guns at match point 2 points ahead.
Well, they've banned with the Guinevere, so it's a step in the right direction. We'll see if it's enough to really swing the favor back all the way towards them, because there's a lot more than just the Guinevere. So we'll have to see how the counter drafting happens as well. But for Lil Guns, it's the same kind of thing. So far as the Khalid, I fully expect maybe a Bruno or the Faramis, right? All these first picks, they can be so costly to let go. And the Mathilda, maybe if they really want to go with this aggressive style, the Mathilda is what usually is a big, big problem. Unless they're going to try and experiment and find their own solution for it.
Oh, possibly. They could. I mean, if they want to start experimenting, now would probably be a good time where you're still up ahead in the race, unless Little Guns are feeling it and they are like, you know what, we want to have the cleanest score possible after everything that's happened in this tournament.
Yeah.
Ending on a 3-0 would be a statement.
Man, and not only that, but I will say I want to focus a little bit on Nightmare Esports here. I like at least taking out the Guinevere out of the picture isn't going to solve all the issues, right? That's not everything, but it's a start. And regardless of what they do for this next ban, as they get to their priority picks, maybe this is the question of, do we just go for comfort? Because even with Too Easy for Lexi on that hero, like I was saying, signature pick of his, he still had a very difficult time, right? I love the fact, too, that he took another issue from the last game, the Angela. That doesn't pop up. Bruno's taken out. So what does Nightmare Esports want to actually prioritize here? We have even seen them. Okay, Matilda's open. I was going to say, we have even seen them, I think it was Cammy, that put the Harith and the Goldling. Right, I'm not sure if that speaks for itself here now that they're at match point, but something like that might be enough to kind of surprise Team Lilgun.
Well, not for Lilgun. They banned away the Bruno that they would love to have used. Didn't give Nightmare a chance to, like, you know, juggle between this Bruno and this Matilda. So what comes to mind is the Faramis, right? Usually it's traded for the Matilda. And I think in the mid lane, Forbid can do a great job on that, and it really suits their playstyle as well. But usually they go for an EXP later, I was about to say. It's going to be an Arlet though. You know, if Nightmare picks up Uranus and kind of tries to get some payback, that'll be kind of funny.
That would be really funny, actually. Now, we see the Valentina get picked up as well. Again, this is very much Lilgun, right? They have been doing this consistently, making sure that they get some prio picks in the first two, especially on red side. But here we go, Nightmare going to be locking in that Faramis, and they're pairing it up with the Wan. Okay.
Yeah. This is a protect 1-1 strategy. We've seen it. Yeah. I think we've seen it in wildcards once, and initially we saw it like twice in MPLI. I think Blacklist started it.
Yeah, there's also, you know, we know that even KBG, they like the 4 protect 1 strategy.
Right.
If they're going for that, is this tactical enough, Arashi? Is this the tactical strat here?
I feel there's a lot of prerequisites, but so far they're in the right direction, right? Strong support kind of for the main damage dealer, and I used to doubt the damage output of a 1-1, but after seeing it, I believe in one of the MPLI games, I was fully converted, man. It does a lot of damage, especially in the early game if you have an advantage. So the question is for Lilguns, what are they going to try and do here? Because they go pick up the Beatrix. I guess they have a combo available here, right? A Final Slash into maybe a Bandit's Rage, for instance. But I feel like they have to pick either a lot more crowd control or some more mobility to get away from the full-blown team fight. As we take another look at a roll here.
What's he gonna get?
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Read that print. Oh.
Okay. P-Falls, all right. That's a good speed. Decent.
Oh!
Hey, yo!
Wow.
Hey,
there you go.
He got the Onimaru. Oh, my goodness.
That's the Saber. Wait, that is Saber, right? I always get him and mixed up with, there's one from, that looks similar, Alpha.
The Abyssal one, right?
Yeah. They're like brothers.
Oh my goodness.
Alpha's also got a, I forgot the name.
He's got the
Samurai one. I forgot the name.
It's
I do not remember the name.
coming to me right now. I'm gonna double check because I haven't. I spent way too much on that one. These people are getting so lucky and it's frustrating me. Now, Tarisla ban, Uranus ban, come to the side of Little Guns. They don't want to have a taste of their own medicine at all, but Nightmare take away the Kaja and as well as the Akai.
They're probably like, hey, Aizen, do you want to play against that or not? And he's probably like,
heck
no.
Why would I want to play against that? Well, they go with the Boxer now that will limit the shielding, which is a great logical pick. But earlier, we did see a request, man. We saw someone show out, play Fanny,
Fanny.
please.
Yeah.
See if it happens. It's a bit of a stretch.
It is a bit of a stretch. I mean, the only person who would really start to suffer would be Bebex at most, or maybe even before Bid. Yeah, but I think that Nightmare in this position, they've got so very much mobility, and because of that Farmers, they kind of want to clump up together. I'm expecting Lilgun leading into something along the lines of Kufra, so you're going to have to keep that in mind for these next two picks, something that's able to kind of face tank it. I'm along the lines of maybe Agent Martis. Oh, they decide to go for Fredrin instead, and they're going to go for Yuzong for a little bit of dive.
Interesting. Well, they're going for the dive, huh? Technically, all of them, all the heroes on the side of Nightmare can just dive in all together, including the 1-1. But again, they're susceptible to getting hugely comboed. I think this depends. Will LG Lil Guns really commit to a full-on team fight, or will they play kiting here? Because if they have the Baxia using the sort of prisons, just leaving a trail there, reducing healing, doing damage, that doesn't sound like a bad alternative. But they go and pick the Paquito.
Oh, I like it.
What?
Hey, this kind of falls.
They might play just macro, dude. Like, we haven't seen...
They might as well.
I was about to say yesterday, and I forgot about it, but we have not seen a lot of macro split push playstyles against such a condensed composition from Nightmare. This is the perfect time to try and use it.
Aside from Lotric.
Oh no!
That's about it.
I mean, we did technically see the Uranus as well, but does that really count, honestly? Does that really count? It never should. But man, this is going to be a really important game. Oh, they've got their own personalized handshakes. Okay, I'm kind of jealous now.
It's crazy.
I got to figure out one later on. But in the meantime, this is going to be that moment once more. I am curious because it's been a while since we've seen this Paquito into a Yuzong matchup. It's very volatile. It leans more into the Yuzong, but let's see what the builds are going to be. Let's see what this potential final strategy coming in from Nightmare Esports is going to allow them to start a potential reverse sweep against the Little Guns, currently at match point.
Oof, keep your eyes on Zora, man. This Baxia is quick, it clears extremely fast, and in the early game fights, it's almost unbeatable. I feel like level 1, level 2, the best route is to just not meet him in the jungle. So we'll see what they can do, but this is going to be a roam. Arlet.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if he can actually get a value of this, because it's very dive heavy, it's very all in, and now Aizen.
Oh, Aizen might be okay, he's fine.
He's totally fine.
1-2. But I'm wondering, right? Ethan with this Arlot roam, who naturally we have seen work for some teams, but knowing that this is Ethan, right? I have a feeling he's going to be able to make this work the best for Team Lilgun. We'll see if Nightmare Esports has an answer for it.
We'll see if we can maintain the high KDA ratio, and it might actually work right here.
Ethan, a little bit too overzealous, but they are going to force them back here. Again, ZXOR is just waiting for that level 4. We're still plenty of time away from that first turtle, though.
Yeah, plenty of time. And, I mean, so far the lanes have been kind of going all right? The most is Aizen losing his battle spell, but it is a sprint, so therefore it comes up faster in comparison to a flicker, so it's not that big of a deal. But in comparison to Juviana, who's about to get his Petrified back up in about 10 seconds, this is where it starts to get a little dicey for Aizen. He just needs to survive until level 4.
Forbid! He's going to get taken out here. You saw the flicker as well. So already on the board, first blood for Nightmare Esports. That's going to help them a lot, especially the fact that it went in the hands of Too Easy for Lexi. This should transition in them to have some confidence for this first turtle take as well.
I think Forbid kind of forgot that last game is already over. He's not as big, juicy, and scaled up. He tried to go for the nothing personnel kid motion there, but being a level 3 doesn't help.
Well, now he might be late to the level 4 party here. Soso already has that Netherrealm. Is pulling Zora away.
Yeah, he's going to pull him away, trying to keep him at bay from getting this Retribution off. It's actually going to go ahead and reset. Aizen now joining the fight for the 1-2. They get the Netherrealm. Still going to be going to Brazier's Wrath to answer for it. But Juviana's going to fall. Aizen on the hunt for Jasmine. Won't be able to get it. Too easy for Lexi. Still wants to get the turtle, but he's taken down as well. And it's Ethan that gets the turtle for Team Lilgun.
The split-second play there to just let the turtle reset. What was that, dude? And then the Netherrealm came in when Zora already used the turtle's prison, so the healing, the shielding, the HP bar was also a lot smaller for Nightmare Esports.
I need that on a soundboard.
They just got completely outclassed.
I need that Arashi sound.
What sound?
What was that, dude? What was that, dude?
What was that, dude?
It's a good one. It's a good sound. It would be a good soundboard, but I think that at the end of the day, right, we were questioning whether or not Ethan was going to be able to kind of find it. And honestly, I think this kind of answers the question. He's got the mechanics, and more importantly, he's unafraid of going in and trying to bait out these spells from his opponents. And he knows that he can survive, especially in the earlier stages, for a little while with the help of that tenacity, on top of the fact that he's got the quantum charge to quickly get that quick boost of movement speed to get out of there.
And with that, yeah, Ethan again. Now, what I'm wondering too, the fact that Aizen was able to get a kill himself, how does this kind of transition to that matchup in the XP lane against Juviana here? But meanwhile, before that, BMX will should be just fine. He did have to burn the flicker, but he's still going to be here with the rest of the team. Ethan now part of this, keeping them together. That's what they have to do.
Yeah, with the final slash available, it's going to be a bit of a good deterrent, even though there's 4 members down here. Nightmare might just still go for it.
Still going to go for Ethan. Rest of the team making their way. ZX Aura there. Aizen. I was asking about how that matchup's going to be. I guess that's a preview of my answer, my question. Still on the bottom side, going to force him out. Final slash. They're trying to get Bebex down. They know he doesn't have a flicker available, but can't get the kill they're looking for. NetherRealm going to come through for SoSoul. Too easy for Lexi. Trying to get that Prazer's Wrath off. He won't be able to. Aizen on his way again. The 1-2 punch comes through, but Morbid slides in and gets a double. And now they're going to hunt Jasmine down. The flicker from Ethan. Jasmine, a final slash. Ethan cleans up the kill.
Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty, Arashi.
What a monster, Ethan. You can't do this, man. This is illegal. Jubiana comes in. Can he do it? The 1v2.
Oh, Jubiana. Already going to use it. SoSoul killed off cam here. Turtle going to be worked on. ZX Aura secures it. Now Team Little Gun, just this early on, quickly garnering themselves nearly a 4K lead.
And just like that, the Paquito is 3-0-2, dude. No one wins against him 1v1. It's really a difficult skill matchup at best. Now, if they really want to play the wide macro strategy, they can do that, but it doesn't even seem like they have to.
Yeah, it's honestly really unfortunate, right? Oh, he's going to get run down.
Goodbye.
Smack.
Oh, and wait, okay, he's a kind jungler, right? He allows Bebex to actually pick up that wave rather than taxing it himself. It's past the 4-minute mark. Oh wait, no, it doesn't even matter. It's not past the 7-minute mark.
There's a category, huh?
There's a category. Thank goodness. Woo!
That's how you know what kind of jungler Gideon is.
Yeah.
He's a nice jungler.
Pre-7, don't worry, I'll take your wave, bro. You don't need it.
Well, still going to be fighting now. Ethan taking the brunt of the damage. There's the airtime from Cammy. Gets the crossbow of Tang off, but doing it nothing to ZX Aura, but at least they get Ethan out of it. Chimera Esports, can they find anything else? Aizen still quite hungry. Jasmine gets deleted, and now SoSoul going to be the next target. The damage is insane for Team Lil Gun.
Dang, does Aizen miss a single one of these jabs or knockout strikes? And honestly, you don't get to see it very often where you use the double knockout strike, just slightly delayed to get the setup.
Does he have the fancy footwork here? He has the finesse.
He's got sprint as well. There's no way to catch him.
Easy for Lexi and Juviana are going to be there. The rest of the team might respond though. He actually just wants to fight this out. Not sure if Aizen can escape this any further as he gets shut down. Yeah, he had to eventually go down with that confidence.
They got a turret for it, but that was a bit anticlimactic, man. We're expecting a huge outplay attempt, but no. Now Zora alone in the jungle. Doesn't matter though. They never play like they're really concerned about the pickup potential, man.
Yeah, they really are. I think, Team Logan, they're really feeling themselves this time with expressionless, emotionless faces up on screen.
Quick work again. Jasmine just deleted off the map here. It's getting grim here.
Play the soundboard, dude.
Thank you.
What was that, man?
Yeah, let me play it. What was that, dude?
What was that? This combo, though, it's insane. We haven't seen it in a while. Get someone to get locked down and then use a fed Beatrix to just delete him. Usually we see it with a Kaja, but now for Team Milgun, they've done it with the Paquito, they've done it with the Arlet, and despite all the tools available, Nightmare Esports just are not matching up to them.
They're struggling. They're really struggling. The only person we haven't seen a combo with is Zora at this point, and
bottom.
I mean, they're just going for everything, right? Tier 2s on all sides. This 1-1 wants to farm. Good luck. Aizen has so much damage on him already, and I'm predicting as of right now that Cammy, even though he has 1 kill under his name, I don't think he has enough items to really challenge him 1v1 just yet, unless Aizen makes a misplay.
Weather is just trying his best to get as much farm as possible. Coincidentally, let's take a look at the in-game equipment here. Only 2 items, so usually 1 more. 3 items is usually where the 1-1 really starts to spike. Whereas for the Beatrix, also 2 items, but more expensive ones, and you're really seeing how he's able to just delete people, man. Blade of Despair and the Malefic Roar, that is insane.
Really, super early.
Oh no.
Just sweeps the purple buff away. Not sure if they still want to go ahead and fight this through. The rest of the team now making their ways. Too easy for Lexi. Half health, he has to back off. But that is how much control Team Logan has.
You know, we were talking about how a lot of these wildcard teams don't have that finesse. They like to do the scrambling. What about now? I mean, considering how Team Lilgun has been playing, and now that they honestly feel like they're so confident, it feels like they're smurfing a little.
Yeah, kind of. No, Aizen, 1v2, can it happen?
Can he make something out of this one? Ethan making his way. Still going to be able to get away, though, has that sprint, so we'll be fine now. Ethan alongside Forbid. They're just making sure Aizen's going to be fine in that bottom side, trying to keep that turret together. Lord's up in 10.
That's how slippery the Paquito is, especially with the sprint, man. You see him now, and then he just like outruns you like he's a marathon. Like he's not a boxer, he's a marathon runner.
Yeah.
Call him Usain Bolt.
Call him Usain Bolt. He's about to break some records here. Now with the Lord in their control, like there's too much of a deficit at this point, like 7.4k, but more importantly, unless we do see too easy for Lexi bring up his steal from 4 to 5, I don't know what to say. This is starting to look pretty grim for Nightmare Esports. How are they going to bounce back?
Well, Kamino finishes a C halberd. He's doing max HP damage. That can help, but especially against the Baxia, we saw how ticklish he was with the crossbow of Tang, man. It did not do any significant damage. now Beatrix with the Wind of Nature. This also means that the Yuzong going for a dive, there's a chance Bebex might just dig in and just duel him like he's always done.
Oh boy, this is, I mean, Nightmare, they know they can't really walk out here. They know that it's going to be extremely difficult. They have to move together as a unit.
They were trying to get a pick off here, avoiding the bulk of Team Lilgun. But Aizen, he just has so much awareness, man. Nightmare Esports, I think they've been trying to get him for like, what, 4 or 5 attempts now, and they have not succeeded. The one time it happened, we were also confused, because he went deeper into their jungle instead. But, you know,
he's got personality. I think that's the best way that we can put it. Here's the tier 2 start to fall. Like, this is the end game at this point. Team Lilgun, they've started the check.
So far with the trend, this is where they get. Ethan goes in with a flicker. Not going to find what he was looking for, but still going to battle it out. Juliana on the backside, going to be hunting down the right target. Bebex has the Wind of Nature, trying to stay alive. Crossbow of Tang, not going to find anyone either. Bebex still going to fire it off. It's Jasmine that falls. Somehow, someway, Bebex stays alive, and they collapse down on Juliana. He's going to miss the shot, though. Still caught there, but they can't get the kill to clean it up. Team Little Gun still showing how far ahead they are.
Wow, that was a sequence, man. Bebex just spraying Jasmine to his face, deleting him from full HP, I believe. And then the backup comes in, and the snipe, if that landed, man, that was a highlight reel.
If only they extended Renner's apathy just a little bit longer, that guarantee would have hit.
Oh, they're still going to walk in here. Again, this is the damaged territory that Team Lilgun has had for the majority of this portion of the game. We know they've ended the previous 2 games around the 15-minute mark, and they're well on their way again.
I mean, the time is nigh here, right? 44 seconds until next Lord ends up spawning. 3 to 13 is going to be the overall kill score, a 10k goal lead. Teams usually don't have much of a problem closing out these games when they've created a goal differential such as this, but Team Lilgun, it feels like it looks like they're having fun while doing it.
Yeah, they seem really chill, and they're just, almost like experimenting halfway, midway as well, kind of limit testing their heroes right here. Aizen, though, doesn't go for a full damage, full sustained Paquito. He's going for the Hunter Strike and then straight for the tank and his items here. I'm gonna make sure that he's as slippery, as annoying as possible. You gank him with 4 members now, he might still slip away.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, considering that Nightmare Esports have attempted it multiple times. Ooh, a Malefic Roar Printers coming in from Cammy. I think now is about the time where he should be able to at least hurt a little, enough, I guess.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Though, Ethan.
This is going to be crucial here. Nightmare Esports wants to stay in this game. If they can pull something through, too easy for Lexi again. He has the most steals so far for the wild card. Ooh, but not sure if he can actually do that given the gravity of this gold disparity. 11k, 11.5, still going to battle it out. They're trying to keep him at bay here. Lord going to go in, reset. Lilgun actually just wants to fight it out. Juliana going to find the Petri. They push Bebex back. He's still going to be firing off, though. Has the...
No way!
Able to survive, but Ethan in trouble. Can they win the fight? CXora now going to be the focus. Aizen from the backside. He finds Juliana. Can he find more? Circling Eagle going to come through. Aizen on the run. Has immortality. Has the shields, but he will get taken down. There's the lineup shot. He finds it. Cammy in trouble. Aizen lined him up for him. Now Bebex, a couple shots, finds Jasmine. It's a back and forth. Team Little Gun.
Oh, I mean, Nightmare. They did everything right. They did everything right. What else can you say about that? Team Little Gun kind of smurfed that fight, even though it all went wrong. They still managed to find a couple of outplays to somehow get a pretty good 3-for-3 trade.
The fact that Cammy got taken out there is insane. I have no words for that whole sequence, but now the fight resumes.
Back to the Lord Dance, they go. Too easy for Lexi, gonna be forced back. Jubiana with the dragon form, he knows that they can't contest it. CXora securing that Lord for Team Lil Gun. Now Nightmare Esports has to prepare for this defense.
I mean, let's take a breather here. That was a whole sequence, bro.
I think I'm falling in love with Team Lil Gun already, man. Like this team is taking my breath away.
That's how I felt, you know, just a few months ago.
Darn.
Man, the fact that Aizen just made the play kind of happen there as well. You thought he would just go out, but he just doubled down and went back into the fight, trying to find something. And despite the quote-unquote shutdowns, no real big shutdowns just yet, it's still an 11.5k gold lead.
Whoa! We'll see if Nightmare Esports can do something, though, about it. Again, they're down so far. They're going to lose these base turrets. Can they pull something through here? Lord going to be worked on. Team Little Gun waiting. We got to keep an eye on Ethan as well. Has the flicker available alongside the final slash. They can force an initiation if they want to, but they take it slow and steady for now.
Bebex just clears the turret slowly but surely, and now...
Oh! There's the jump in. They're going to commit to the fight here. Jubiana trying to keep them at bay. They already get the nether realm out. There's the drag on CXora, followed by the circling eel. Crossbow of Tang. Can't find the damage. Immortality's going to be there. They're still going for it. Bebex has to flicker. He's all on his own. One shot away. Cammy will take him out. It's only Bebex down for now. Aizen and Forbid on the run. Nightmare Esports stays in the game.
Man, great defense coming out from Nightmare Esports. Now they finally get past the 42k mark. Soon they'll start breaking into the 50s, and then it all evens out. Team Lil Gun might have taken too long to close out this game, but they got very, very close at eliminating and considering everything that has happened in this instant replay brought to you by Kadea. Look at how low the members of Nightmare are.
They're too low for comfort, but the fact that the roster of Lil Guns just spread apart and they all had their own mini team fights in the base of their opponents, that is wild. That is a fitting situation for the last match of the wildcard series. What is that? Why would they even do that? We'll never know, man. You can't try and relate to the thought process of geniuses.
Oh, it's true. It feels like they're really built diff at this point. We've got Jasmine just hugging on towards that riverside, making sure that he has some coverage over there. Because keep in mind, Nightmare Esports, despite getting a good base defense, there are 3 missing inhibitors in their base. So it's difficult for them to actually walk up to try and contest these neutrals.
I think later on, the prerequisite to win the fight has to be a proper final slash, because for a few fights right now, the final slash from Ethan isn't bad, but it's not anything major. If they land a proper combo, a final slash into like a proper Banner's Rage, they can delete 2 or 3 members at the same time. And keep in mind, there are no purifiers on the side of Nightmare Esports, so if they can get Sosol, for instance, that could just seal the deal immediately. Because we've talked about it, in a full team fight, Nightmare Esports draft-wise does have an advantage. Team Lil Gun had the advantage macro-wise, so they have to try and use this to try and create something, and that's exactly what Aizen is trying to find.
Well, to be fair in Ethan's defense, he did get cancelled a couple of times, whether it be the Petrify or... Wait, hold on.
This time he's not going to get cancelled. The target too easy for Lexi. They're going to get the Nether Realm out. They're going to go ahead and chase him down. Still commit to the Lord. Cammy there as well, looking for the crossbow of Tang. Can't find the proc. They get the Lord here. Can they win the fight? Jubiana on the run. He's going to get taken down. Now they're collapsing on top of Nightmare. Cammy's still going to be alive. Bebex will find too easy for Lexi. Cammy the next target. There's the flicker. The guiding wind isn't enough to disengage. They're going to fight back though. Takes a lot of damage. Double immortality going to be popped. They have to be careful. They have to back off. Bebex in trouble. It's a blunder. Another immortality going to be popped. It's a huge trade, but Team Lil Gun still has the Lord.
I swear to God, Team Lil Gun really are just limit testing themselves. Immediately, Immortality's broken. Immediately, Winter Truncheon, and as well as World's Gold Meteor purchase. And Bebex was like, I did not have enough. Let's check out the instant replay brought to you by Kadia.
Look at this, dude. HP bar is low, it doesn't even matter. Bebex switches items, but then Cammy with the mobility just comes out on top right here. It's unfortunate. It seems like Nightmares are just the one so much more desperate for it. They all committed, and they know that the game is lost anyway without the risk. They go in, and it has paid off. Now the goal difference shrinks down to 6K. Team Lil Guns, is this now where they're on the back foot? Because I feel like they went in together, they could have won, but that's the mindset you have when you're ahead. It's a different feel altogether, and the fact that they even went for the fight with the Lord spawning, by the way, just tells you all you need to know about Lil Guns and what kind of mindset they have right now.
Oh man, they're going to be dragging this out to about 20 minutes. Now keep in mind, they can only do this for so long because these death timers are starting to become brutal, going almost to about a minute long at this point.
Not only that, but you got to give it to Nightmare Esports. Given the whole situation for the past 20 minutes, they've stayed in this game. This is the longest they've been in this series against Team Lil Gun. They've made it past that 15-minute mark. They've dealt with these lords. Now, the biggest question is, with a fully exposed base, how do we get space to work with, right? How do we get turrets down? We only have one for Nightmare Esports. Do they just try to contest against these lords to transition into opening up the map?
I feel like right now Team Lil Gun can just bait Nightmare Esports into fights with the Lord, and if they let it go and they're banking everything on a base defense, a common strategy you've seen a lot, especially during the Valentina Faramis meta, is to just go for a Netherrealm and go straight and rush down the base, especially with the Lord that can't be cleared as fast. If you come in there with an Arlet, with a Beatrix, with a Paquito, and just, you know, wail on that crystal, you should be able to get it done before Nightmare Esports can really stop everyone. Because if you look at the roster, there's not a lot of crowd control, especially if they all spread apart together, right? The Furious Dive maybe can do something, so can the Circling Eagle, but that's only on one area. If they split as 3 and just go for the base, I feel like that is the winning strategy. But again, who knows what Team Lil Guns are thinking about. They might be thinking, you know what, we have to win a fight in order to actually prove that we deserve to win this.
Let's see whether or not they're going to get that fight. Because again, as you mentioned earlier, a potential backdoor because Zura.
Oh no.
He's hovering around it.
They're waiting there. Nightmare Esports, they sent Juviana back. And they get the call. At least they're not tunnel visioning here. Vasil ZXOR are going to keep that Lord. The dance continues. The rest of the team going to make their way, but still, Aizen waiting there patiently.
The fact that Zora is the only one on the Lord, and they sent everyone away from him, that could have really been bad, but that is the kind of mind game that Team Lil Guns are using right now. Nightmare Esports are so concerned. They have no idea what's going to happen here.
They're still rotating around. I mean, this is the Lord dance we were hoping to see for a very, very long time, right?
I feel like we haven't seen something like this so far up to the wild card for the most part.
I'm expecting the fight to eventually break out, but the backdoor opportunity could open up for Team Lil Gun, especially since they
This could be the moment they're looking for. Too easy for Lexi, gonna have to go out. Netherrealm already gonna be used. They do gonna flicker out as well. Juviana now using Dragon form, gonna push Lil Guns back. So with that, the respect's still there. They got to handle their base as well. The minions are going to be pushing in. Aizen, they got to keep an eye on him. They might push in as well, but ultimately it comes down to a reset.
Whew. A lot of OTs being used by both teams, but Team Lil Gun definitely has more pressure here. And despite the buff to the Lord doing percentage HP damage, Zora is still pretty healthy up there. It's Ethan that's getting kind of concerningly low, but the wave in the bottom side, that's what's building up. Team Lil Gun, they might see an opportunity to just go for a fight without Juviana in the picture here.
Okay, I mean, the Lord has been brought down to about 54%, but here we go.
Still gonna go for it again. Too easy for Lexi, quite low. Netherrealm gonna be used. Still going for it. Ethan, Immortality gonna be popped as well. Trying to turn the tide of the fight. They find the stun. Juviana there in the afraid of it all. Ethan quite low. It's gonna do it.
He's got to delay
themselves. There's the cannon being taken down quite low. And we're back to it. Nightmare Esports stays in the game.
Dude, this Lord hurts. This Lord is starting to really hurt.
Wait, can Aizen send it solo with the Lord?
I don't. Wait. Actually, no. They're delaying it right here, right now. They're not going to let him move any further. And I mean, Kami's got more than enough damage.
Now Yugu Dragon form, gonna push Lil Guns back. So
was into fights with the Lord, and if they let it go and they're banging everything on a base defense, a common strategy you've seen a lot, especially during the Valentina Faramis meta, is to just go a Netherrealm and go straight and rush down the base, especially with the Lord that can't be cleared as fast. If you come in there with an Arlet, with a Beatrix, with a Paquito, and just, you know, wail on that crystal, you should be able to get it done before Nightmare Esports can really stop everyone. Because if you look at the roster, there's not a lot of crowd control, especially if they all spread apart together, right? The Furious Dive maybe can do something, so can the Circling Eagle, but that's only on one area. If they split as 3 and just go for the base, I feel like that is the winning strategy. But again, who knows what Team Lil Guns are thinking about. They might be thinking, you know what, we have to win a fight in order to actually prove that we deserve to win this.
Let's see whether or not they're going to get that fight. Because again, as you mentioned earlier, a potential backdoor because Zura.
Oh no.
He's hovering around it.
They're waiting there. Nightmare Esports, they send Juviana back. And they get the call. At least they're not tunnel visioning here. Vasil ZXora gonna keep that Lord. The dance continues. The rest of the team gonna make their way, but still, Aizen waiting there patiently.
The fact that Zora is the only one on the Lord, and they send everyone away from him, that could have really been bad, but that is the kind of mind game that Team Lil Guns are using right now. Nightmare Esports are so concerned. They have no idea what's gonna happen here.
They're still rotating around. I mean, this is the Lord dance we were hoping to see for a very, very long time, right?
I feel like we haven't seen something like this so far up to the wild card for the most part.
I'm expecting the fight to eventually break out, but the backdoor opportunity could open up for Team Lil Gun, especially since they
This could be the moment they're looking for. Too easy for Lexi, gonna have to go out. Netherrealm already gonna be used. They do gonna flicker out as well. Juviana now using Dragon form, gonna push Lil Guns back. So with that, the respect's still there. They gotta handle their base as well. The minions are gonna be pushing in. Aizen, they gotta keep an eye on him. They might push in as well, but ultimately it comes down to a reset.
Ooh. A lot of OTs being used by both teams, but Team Lil Gun definitely has more pressure here. And despite the buff to the Lord doing percentage HP damage, Zora is still pretty healthy up there. It's Ethan that's getting kind of concerningly low, but the wave in the bottom side, that's what's building up. Team Lil Gun, they might see an opportunity to just go for a fight without Juviana in the picture here.
Okay, I mean, the Lord has been brought down to about 54%, but here we go.
Still gonna go for it again. Too easy for Lexi, quite low. Netherrealm gonna be used. Still going for it. Ethan, Immortality gonna be popped as well. Trying to turn the tide of the fight. They find the stun. Juviana there in the brain of it all. Ethan quite low. Ethan now goes down. The Lord is taken by Aizen. Bebex will fall though to Juviana. He'll get taken down. Immortality gonna be popped. Aizen trying to get the kill to cap it out. He will find it. Aizen with a fancy footwork trying to get back to the base. He got the Lord. Does he want to fight?
He's got to delay.
He's gonna do it.
He's got to delay
themselves. There's the cannon being taken down quite low. And we're back to it. Nightmare Esports stays in the game.
Dude, this Lord hurts. This Lord is starting to really hurt.
Wait, can Aizen send it solo with the Lord?
I don't. Wait. Actually, no. They're delaying it right here, right now. They're not going to let it move any further. And I mean, Kami's got more than enough damage. And with the sustainability with Jasmine, it's totally fine. But man, so many things that could go wrong almost went wrong. And for Team Lil Gun, Aizen saving the day by stealing that Lord.
Imagine if the Lord was in the hands of Nightmare Esports. This could be
a
very decisive end. But wow, the game continues, man. I mean, and the goal difference is non-existent now.
Oh boy. This has been interesting, right? Every single time we saw this Lord dance happen, the same things occur. The final slash happens, Freddy gets pulled in, we see the Bandit's Rage, he walks away with a sliver of HP, and then Sosol saves his life.
Ooh, now for Team Lil Gun. I wonder what's the idea now, because they've tried that literally twice in the same Lord contest, right? Final slash into Bandit's Rage. Too easy for Lexi, is just a bit too tanky at this point, and they haven't really had any solutions to deal with Juviana. I feel like eventually it has to be some kind of Paquito split push strategy, right? That must be the only reason initially why it got picked up. Cammy, though, just brute forcing the turret. It's been standing for way too long, to be fair.
I mean, I'm assuming that maybe not. It doesn't necessarily have to be Aizen, right? It could technically be Bebex, and I think it would be a little bit more relevant if you have that marksman in place with the potentially with the Wesker. You know, he's got the damage, and I think he's got the econ to do so. Wait, actually, no, he might not. I'm not 100% sure because he has been switching out his items pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Oh. He has Wind of Nature right now, I believe, but so does Cammy. So,
and most immortalities are back online as well.
That's also true.
That's wild.
Oh, here we go. Welcome to the wild card.
Welcome to the wild card, ladies and gentlemen. Something brewing up in the mid lane. Cammy with a Rose Gold Meteor, though. That might be enough to really get him ahead. It's just a late game 1-1 power. It's not just the damage, it's the mobility. He has way more ways to deal with Team Wilgun than Bebex does. I feel like he's been really struggling to deal with Juviana, despite the fact that he's kind of already outscaled him, technically.
Yes. Well, I suppose, right? There is an argument on either side for it, but at the end of the day, it's about whether or not you can actually do an effective use for it. In this case, if Julia is able to get all people appears like did previously, I see the same result this time. If they have more for it, that's not going to be GG to
Back to it.
Kind of focusing on the little over there. Oh, it was stolen. Look at his play, man. Go for it.
They're going to go for it again. They're waiting in that bush. Probably trying to do the same thing again. Final shot, but still both teams. Both here. Full force. Keep on my page on there now. Less than half health on this Lord. They want to come in. It looks like they're going for it. Final flash through. Bebex trying to get a race. They get another round out. Both junglers still planning themselves around the Lord. They're going to force the extra back. They are going to have to fight for this one to claim the Lord. Who's it going to come down? Oh! That's also get shut down. They're going to the Lord down. That gets the Lord. And Team Little got on the run. They're on the retreat. But it's only Cammy down for Nightmare Esports. They're still going. They lose Juliana. And Team Little gives it the go signal to chase them down.
Wait. The Lord minions is probably in the mid lane. Them all the way to the base and look to end them while they have that Lord.
They're going to run down there. They don't care about the Lord. Soul's taken out. Team Little Gun going to be put into the base. Can they end the game? They want more kills. They're going for it. It's a double for base. Jasmine falls as well from Dark Horse to a Nightmare of their own. Team Little Gun, can they end it? There's no minions.
There's none, but don't worry, the mid lane is going to be clear back up. They're coming, and that is it. They're fist bumping already. Woo. What a game coming out for Little Guns with that final match here. We have our next one.
Again, he has the most.
Wait, hold on.
This time.
The Lord doing percentage HP damage. Zora is still pretty.
Treat, but it's only Cammy down for Nightmare Esports. They're still going. They lose Juliana, and Team Little Gun gives it the go signal to chase them down.
Wait. The Lord minions in spot, but look at the mid lane as it gets pushed down. They're going to chase them all the way to the base and look to end them while they have that Lord.
They're going to run it down here. They don't care about the Lord. Soul's taken out. Team Little Gun going to be pushing in the base. Can they end the game? They want more kills. They're going for it. It's a double for base. Jasmine falls as well from Dark Horse to a Nightmare of their own. Team Little Gun, can they end it? There's no minions.
There's none, but don't worry, the mid lane is going to be clear back up. They're coming, and that is it. They're fist bumping already. Whew. What a game coming out for Little Guns. But that final match here, we have our next qualified team. Give it up for the region of Mongolia. It's Team Little Gun.
Philippines, are you ready? Because Mongolia is here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, here it goes. Woo. This is the conclusion of the M5 World Championship wildcard stage. It's Team SMG from Malaysia, and it's going to be Team Lil Gun from Mongolia, making it into Group B and C, respectively. Holy cow. With that being said, that's enough for us at the desk. We're throwing it up to the stage.
Everybody, let's give Nightmare Esports a big round of applause. Nightmare Esports, thank you for showing us the Laotian MLBB playstyle.
And now, on the count of 3, we will give the final bow to all the audience here. In 3, 2, 1, bow.
You may now take your final bow. And your journey ends here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we wish the very best, and we want to see more of you. Thank you very much. Give a big round of applause!
And now, the team that got the last wild card slot. Give a round of applause to Team Lil Gun.
First of all, what an amazing series. The last game, I have to say, caused a lot of heart attacks. Now, first of all, congratulations on qualifying on the M5 World Championship. I just gotta ask, how do you guys feel? How do you feel after winning that match?
We feel very amazing, and because we expecting this moment for like 2 to 3 years, and it's our dream. Like the dream come true. We are really happy about it. Yeah, thank you so much.
They feel amazing because this is their dream, and they're able to achieve their dream, and it was a very tough match for them.
Team Lil Gun, you guys have made history because you're the very first Mongolian team to make it to the M Series. You're going to the World Championship. What are you thinking about right now? What's going through your minds? You guys have made history.
Yeah, how about Zexora? Zexora can answer that question.
I feel very excited because this is my first.
If anyone can translate, you can speak in your language and then translate.
Very first Mongolian team to make it to the World Championship. Now you're gonna go back home and you know that you're gonna be representing your country in the Philippines.
He's very speechless and happy right now. So yeah. I cannot express the feelings.
Right now, he's very excited for representing Mongolia. He wishes the best. He wants to make Mongolia proud, and he will do his very best to put Mongolia on the map of MLBB.
Yes. Now you guys are going to be competing in Group C. How are you guys feeling about that? Who are you most excited and you're looking forward to?
We want to face Brain.
Brand?
Yeah,
Brand.
Yeah, because Brain is so strong and we train like 1 month, and now we want to see our levels when we play against the Brain. Yeah.
Based on your performance on this wild card, what do you think is your chances going to be? Because in Group C, AP Brand is there. How do you feel your chances are right now fighting against them?
That's right, because you guys face them against IESF.
Yeah, we just try our best, and I'm really confident my teammates. Yeah, I think we can win.
I also have to ask, because based on the performance here on the wild card, Lil Gun looks very strong. And I know you guys have a dream that in Mongolia you want to have an MPL region. Now that through the wild card you're going on the world stage, what do you hope for Mobile Legends Bang Bang in Mongolia?
What is it?
What is your hope for the growth of Mobile Legends Bang Bang in Mongolia?
Yeah, we really want just team fish. Yeah.
You really want what?
MPL.
Ah.
Yeah, MPL.
MPL.
Yeah, MPL.
You want MPL Mongolia.
Yeah.
Now, everybody's watching. The whole world is watching. What do you want to say to them, especially everybody back home in Mongolia? What's your message?
За тэгээд ерөнхийдөө бол энэ тэмцээнд бидний дэмжсэн бүх хүмүүстээ баярлалаа. Тэгээд ер нь бол бидэд яг олон жил яг энэ дэлхийн аврагт орохын төлөө айгүй олон жил хичээсэн. Тэгээд ярцсан мөрөөдлөө биелүүлсэндээ маш баяртай байна. Тэгээд бидэд ороод бас хичээнэ.
We want to express our thanks to our supporters, and we tried and trained for quite some time, and we will try our best. Thank you.
Give a big round of applause.
You may now take your bow.
Right, 3, 2, 1, bow.
And take your walk of victory.
Congratulations again. Give it up for Lil Gun.
Team Little Gun with such a phenomenal performance. We had 8 teams competing in the wild card, and they are one of the 2 that will get to proceed in the World Championship. Now, the first ever wild card stage in the M Series will go down in history with Team SMG and Team Little Gun coming out as the victors.
This groundbreaking event effectively served as a medium for emerging regions to show off to the world their gameplay, how they play Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And I gotta say, the journey of both teams going to the main stage through the wild card, Team SMG have gone through a lot, losing the grand finals, going to the wild card. Even Sasa himself said there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but they were able to tough it out, and they're going to the Philippines. And Team Lil Gun, we've never had Mongolia representing, going to the main stage, and they've made it happen. And more, we're seeing more emerging countries representing on the world stage.
We love the different types of MLBB playstyle, but you know, Lafel, this is just another stop to a bigger goal, because now all 16 teams of the best regions are now complete. And now we can finally go to the grand stage to determine the M5 World Champion.
And that question will be answered in Manila, Philippines, the host for the biggest and grandest Mobile Legends eSport tournament of the year. We'll see you guys there. My name is Lafel.
And my name is Mara Aquino. And on behalf of everyone who's made the M5 World Championship wildcard possible, we'd like to remind you all who's in the pursuit of victory to become better than great. See you guys in the Philippines. Keep it good, vibes, everybody.